heart of Savannah, where history and legend intertwine like the branches of ancient trees, there exists a world unseen by the ordinary eye. Here, the past refuses to stay buried, and the night is alive with secrets. Welcome to a city where the veil between the living and the dead is as thin as the morning fog, where creatures of legend walk among us, hidden in plain sight, and ancient pacts still hold sway over the living and the supernatural alike. From the restless spirits that roam the old plantations to the mythical beings lurking in the shadows of the city's winding alleys, Savannah is a place where every street corner hides a tale, and every nightfall brings a new chapter in a story as old as the city itself. This is the story of Savannah's secrets, where the supernatural is not just a whisper in the wind, but a pulse that beats through the very soul of this haunted city. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Welcome to Mythic, Savannah.
I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes, I am available.
sorry. We're starting.
All right, well, there we go. We have brought the music down. We are ready to rock. We actually got a full crowd again. First time in a while. Because illness and busyness and all kinds of stuff has kept us from getting together like we should. So, however, it is the beginning of the month, and it is Christmas in October. Because we have not one, not two, but 3 birthdays in October. Count them up, count. So we need to make some XP rolls. So who wants to do the monthly XP, which is 1d4 plus 1?
I'll do it.
Okay. Shelly, go ahead and roll it. Dale, go ahead and roll your birthday XP. Brittany, roll your birthday XP. Jerome, roll your birthday XP.
My sister, roll her birthday XP.
1d4, just 1d4, that's it?
1d4 plus 1.
Plus 1, okay. 5.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
For the birthdays, it's 1d6?
It is.
Or is it? Okay.
Yep. For birthdays, 1d6 plus 1.
Oh, plus 1. So then that would be...
That would be a 4.
That'd be 4 for me, yeah.
4.
Brittany got a 3.
6. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 7.
How did I mess that up?
I don't know.
Why is it not given to me?
Did you not wait for the macro?
It's actually
I'll
not
wait for
coming
the
up for me.
syntax.
It's giving me all kinds of other stuff, but not that one.
Okay.
That's weird.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So far.
Did you forget to sacrifice to the dice gods?
I didn't speak in an accent. That may be why.
Oh.
There you go.
That's
Yes,
a trick
you
to it.
must talk with an accent if you want something to work.
Which I found out works at the post office too.
You know, it also works when you get pulled over, especially if you have a real thick accent. They can't
It's actually not
understand you.
giving it to me. That's weird.
Try a different channel.
Yes, hello. Was I speeding?
Like, I don't want to deal with this. You can go.
Yeah.
Yumpin' Yemeni.
Yumping Yemeni.
It should be working.
Try
Are you
it
still
in the
having
Star
issues
Wars
rolling?
one.
Yeah. No, let me do it there.
It's not even showing you rolling. You only did it. It's only showing that you did it once.
Let me try
Yeah.
over here.
Try a different channel.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not even showing up in any of the other channels.
Do you need permissions to it? Because usually, does Jerome roll dice in the dice roller thing?
He has.
He has his own permission.
Has he?
He's the one that created it.
Yeah.
Well, but like sometimes, like he may have just been like, oh, I'll name all the players, but not himself.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't need to.
Oh, okay.
But I'll go
I
ahead
got
and
that.
add myself.
Yeah, I got the test.
Even though I'm supposed to. Well, that's me texting.
Right.
Right.
I'm just gonna physically go through and add everything. I haven't had to do that before, so that's weird. But... Let me add all of the rolls for sake of argument. There we go. Now, let's see if that's what does it. Who knows? Nope.
Somebody else want to roll
Want
for
me,
him?
want me
Yeah.
to roll for you?
So somebody else roll for me.
1d6 plus 1.
You could just roll.
There's another 5.
Cool. So
I was
5.
gonna say you could just roll like an actual
14.
d6.
So
if you
17 XP. Nice.
What's that like?
Real dice? What's that?
I know.
wanted. I know, right?
Ancient.
So there we go.
Oh, you know what really sucks? What really, really sucks is that my my dice container fell off my desk and shattered.
Oh, dang.
Oh.
Ouch.
It was revolting because they haven't been used.
Speaking
just-
of
Jumped off the desk.
speaking of which, I know Jerome's gonna be mad, but check
I?
this out.
Oh, yeah.
What is
What's
it?
just that?
Oh, dice.
Is it the electric dice?
It's
Yeah.
the electronic one, yeah.
Programmable.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Jeez. My gosh.
It's so cool. But yeah, Jerome's hasn't come in yet.
I even got mine before her. And it still
Because he
hasn't come in.
bought a whole bunch and I just got one.
And yeah, it's been a whole production behind the scenes, and so
Yeah.
with that company.
It's pretty sweet though.
Yes.
I don't know when I'll ever use it, but
Yeah,
That's not important.
that's not what it. Yeah, that doesn't count. I can't wait till my new earrings come in, because they're gonna go from my ear to my nose for
What?
this character.
Oh,
Still nothing.
carry the nothing.
Yep, nothing. Done. Carry the nothing. Equals nothing. Anyway,
And
so
you-
does somebody want to give us a game recap while I am going to log out of Discord and log back in?
That would be Dale.
Yeah, that's right. Did it last time. Okay, so season 1, episode 4, Missing. Sly had gone to Arcana Cabana to try to get some information, mainly so we can work on this Bethanical character in this chalice, and he talked to Kyle, who let him know about a Madame Devereaux, voodoo priestess, up in the Ebenezer Creek swamplands. So he got some directions, then got some stuff like hip waders so he could work on going there. Meanwhile, Mikhail called Charles because he needs $1.5 million more for the movie. It turns out Conflict MMA has an event, which is Conflict 65, and wanted Charles to go there to talk to a Mr. Rourke to see if he'll provide the funds, if he'll be an investor for the movie. And Charles is going to have Joe drive him there. While that was happening, Petra got a phone call from Courtney's son, Micah, while he was at school. It turns out Courtney did not pick Micah up, and Courtney's car wasn't in the driveway at home. So Petra went ahead to the school, picked him up. He mentioned that he was mad at a school bully, and while doing that, Petra noticed that Courtney's car was actually in the parking lot there at the school. So she talked to a school admin, but they hadn't seen Courtney. Petra looked at the bushes nearby and found Courtney's phone. Found very large size 14 boot prints in bushes nearby. So Petra called Sean to have him come by and pick up Micah. That happened, and then Petra went ahead and called Cade to get his help. Cade was meanwhile picking peaches with the Squire Nigel, answered the call, said, yeah, he's good at tracking things, went over with Nigel to help Petra. While that was happening, Sly found a dirt road, got to the swamp, managed to get past her guard gators. Let's see here. And then Charles and Joe discussed what they needed to do, called Jocelyn, found out that she was going to go there as well with Joe because Jocelyn and Joe had a date. Charles is a third wheel. Oh, but that's okay. They're all going to go as threesome to do the $1.5 million thing. And Sly met Madame Devereaux. It's Shelley's new character. Talked about Bethanagal. It seems that Shark Man is again in Sly's future. Bethanagal is an evil demon, grants wishes to mortals, but the price is very high. He preys upon the seafaring and island-dwelling people. Let's see. And turns out Dev has a familiar, a talking weasel. That's fun. Who actually provided some good info. He mentioned that when he was at a nearby food line in the outskirts of Savannah, he saw that a guy had a lady tied up in the back of his car. So then, got to go get him, is what Sly's thinking. So he's working on leaving the swamp now, and Madame Devereaux's helping him with that to get past her gators. Charles, Jocelyn, and Joe got to Conflict 65, eventually got their way to Mr. Rourke, and managed to negotiate getting a deal with him. So it seems like he is willing to invest as long as he gets a 15% return on what the movie makes, and have Charles and Jocelyn sign a 3-fight deal and sign Charles into a new movie after this one. And so Charles is going to let McHale know what Rourke offered. And then Cade and Nigel got to Petra. Cade transformed himself into a Welsh hunting dog and used his super doggo sniffer to sniff the kidnapper's boot print. Picked up a flowery and sugary scent, which is probably Courtney, and the other is a fishy scent, probably Sharky, and found that the tracks led the scent to the street, so it looks like Sharky took Courtney into a car and drove off. So because of that, Petra went to a nearby fire station, got them to check their security footage of the area, and saw that the kidnapper was apparently driving a white 1978 Mustang. And so now Petra was placing a call to Lillian for more assistance. And that's where we stopped.
All right. So picking right up literally where we left off. So Petra, you are, it's evening time at this point. You are placing the call into Lillian to trying to get some assistance. So phone picks up. Go for Lil.
Lillian, this is Petra. I need your help.
Hey, Pete, what's going on?
My cousin is missing, and we think she was abducted. Can you or someone come and look at the site, maybe pick up on some kind of clues?
Yeah, where are you looking? Like, okay, where do I need to be?
The elementary school on the island.
I'll have to.
I'll text you the address.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to put that in. I don't know exactly where that's at. All right, give
I
me
wouldn't
about
expect
20,
that.
25.
Okay. We'll be waiting.
Who's we?
Me and Cade.
Oh, that the other new guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, on my way.
Thank you.
Jerome, am I still a dog?
You are.
Woof woof.
Yep. You are a dog looking for trailer shark. Do 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 do.
Trailer shark. I guess I will turn to Cade and say, if you don't want Lillian to know that you have that ability, you might change back before she gets here. It's up to you.
Kid kind of thinks about it as a dog for a little bit. Yeah, he'll kind of go over to a bush or somewhere off where somebody can't see him and turn back into his normal self.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll kind of wave Nigel over because he's carrying my clothes.
Yeah. So I mean, he sees you kind of pop up from the bushes and kind of wave. He's like, "Oh, right!" And he kind of he at that prompt, he darts over with a handful of clothing. It's just handing them off to the bushes, which now seems to have an arm and is quietly collecting the clothing.
Yes.
For anybody watching, it's quite the sight. It's interesting to say the least. But for the most part, where you're at, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, no problem. We're just near school. Nothing weird about this.
Of course not.
Yeah. As I come out of the bushes, clothed and covered probably in leaves. I will say, would it be possible, or now that we know what the make and model of the car is it possible to, do you have any police contacts that you could have maybe searching for a car of that description?
I don't, but maybe Sean does. Let me give him a call and update him.
It's because I imagine a 1978 white Mustang is going to stick out. It's not quite as discreet as a purple neon.
Perhaps you're right.
Pepper?
Okay, so I will call Sean.
Okay, so he picks up right away. He says, he just says, I'm here. Do you have an update? What's going on?
We have a few clues. I'm still at the school, but we talked to the fire department next door. They got some camera footage. It looks like there was a 1978 white Mustang that ran by here. We think that might be the vehicle that took her. And apparently whoever did it smells fishy.
Okay, so we're looking for a
I don't
fisherman?
know. That's all I've got. I've got some other friends coming to take a look at the scene and see if they can get more clues from what's going on here. How's Micah?
I mean, he's a little worried, but I'm trying to keep him occupied with other things.
Okay, smart.
Trying to keep his mind off of what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any friends in the police department, but if we could put a, what do they call it? APB on that,
I
that
do
car?
I do know somebody who attends my church, but it would seem a little awkward if I mean, I don't have a problem doing that, but it would seem odd that we didn't report that in. But I mean, I can,
That's
yes.
true. That is true. Well, if my friends can't pick up anything else, then the police are the next people that I'm calling.
Okay. Well, then I'll get his number, and I'll see how. I'll just see how I'll put out feelers, see how that would go if we could.
Okay.
You know, it would seem like an awkward favor, but I'm willing to exhaust that. It's obviously important.
All right. I'll keep you posted.
Okay, yeah, please do.
All right.
Was that your babysitter?
And I hang up.
Okay.
No, he's, well, I suppose I might as well be honest with you. Courtney is not my cousin. She's actually my daughter.
Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
Sean is her brother. He's currently got Micah, the Courtney's son.
Okay.
So
I guess I don't understand the like the, you kind of prefaced it with like a revolutionary tone, like I have a revelationary tone of, I have something to tell you. She's not my cousin. She's my daughter. Like, oh, this person I don't know.
I suppose, yes. Courtney is the one who's missing, and I suppose you haven't met either of them, but they don't look like me, so it's easier to explain if I just tell people that we're cousins.
Okay. That's fine, I suppose. I guess I was perhaps wondering. I guess you already called Lillian, but do you have any other contacts, like the people who run the city, so to speak? Do they have more an information network that perhaps we could tap ourselves into?
I don't really work with anyone besides Lillian, so
Okay.
um,
Um, hmm.
but like I told Sean, if she can't get us any um, further intelligence, then I'm gonna call the police.
Excellent.
My experience with police has been very hit and miss over the years, so I generally prefer to take things into my own hands when I can.
Well, and I especially imagine it must be difficult to call the police over a matter of a fishy person uh, kidnapping people. Jerome, is there anything I could roll to perhaps maybe think about anything I've maybe dealt with in the past or read about? Like, what could this possibly have been? Like, a large person smells like fish. Does that sound like anything I've dealt with?
Well, if you're crude, then no. If you're not so crude, I mean,
I am a knight.
almost anybody who works, on a dock or goes out on a boat is probably going to have some sort of sea spray fish smell.
Well, but the smell that I picked up, did it smell like a normal fisherman's smell, or did it smell more like? Did I get like is there anything like combing through my
It would actually
library?
No, a good point. It would actually be more appropriate to be a fisherman. Yeah, even though the guy didn't look like it. Yeah, I mean, it smells like somebody who is around fish quite a bit. Maybe sells them, maybe eats them, maybe fishes.
Okay, but I guess there's no. I wouldn't think of like, oh, there's this monster that exists over here that it could be.
Not offhand. You don't have enough details to link those two just yet.
Okay.
Outside of the fact, if you're trying to think it's a monster, well, I mean, okay, we'll start going down the Rolodex of all the aquatic creatures that could, come up on land.
Yeah,
that's still potentially quite extensive.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Jerome. Oh, sorry, George. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, George. Jerome, do I have since I have the dock?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know of anybody that has that like rents space there that has a Mustang?
No, but it's still worth a look. People fish off there all the time.
But we'd have to drive over there
to go, or ask somebody to go look at the video footage.
Maybe the manager at the restaurant.
Sure.
Who?
The restaurant right now would still be open.
Is there video footage at the dock?
That's a great question, but was it in or out of character?
Out.
So the answer would be yes, you do have security cameras for insurance purposes, obviously. People store stuff there, so you would have video cameras on the grounds. You would also have video cameras that monitored the docks because people dock there as well, and they want to make sure that their stuff's secure and taken care of. You don't have many, but you do have several.
Okay. Then I'll go do that after. I don't think the manager at the restaurant would have access to that.
Probably not, but they'd likely have access to any cameras that were on the restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can go check that after Lillian gets here.
Sure. Okay, so while you're doing that, Sly, where did we leave off with you? Now that you've gotten your way out of the swamp.
Yeah, let's see here. So, I guess he would bid Madame Devereaux adieu, get back in his car, and start heading to the Food Lion at the place that her familiar talked about to see if he can start tracking Sharky from there.
Oh, okay, sure. So it doesn't. I mean, not going to make your role play out the whole driving montage. That'd be pretty boring. But I mean, it's evening time at this point. You cross town, come up to Food Line. Food Line's still open for several more hours at this point. The Food Line that he referenced, which is actually,
This is just a grocery store, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's a grocery store appropriate to the East Coast.
Okay.
It is on par with what is the other food place? It's called
Food City.
Yeah, it's on par
It's
with
a
Food
Wiggly
City.
Piggly.
Yeah.
Okay. Piggly Wiggly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another southern / eastern place.
Yeah.
And since you've actually seen all of Heels now, Brittany, Piggly Wiggly appears in Heels.
I'm familiar with Piggly Wiggly.
Yes.
Actually, the first I heard of it was Win a Date with Tad Hamilton,
Okay.
which was a fun movie.
Let me see. I'm trying to find my note where Food Lion is at. Because it's not in it's in Savannah, but it's like one of the suburbs of Savannah, and I'm trying to find the name that I listed down.
Right.
You know what? Let me do this. Lion is not going to appear in here much. There it is. It's in Pooler, Georgia.
Okay.
Which, if you Google that, is just a little northwest-ish of Savannah proper.
Okay.
But you pull up there. Maybe 15, 20 cars still parked out in the parking lot at this point. It's about 9 at night.
Okay.
They still got about 2.5 hours or so maybe to go before they close.
So then he first looks around because the little dude mentioned that he had been rooting around in trash cans. So he's looking around the grounds to see if there are any trash cans that look like they were knocked over, disturbed, anything like that.
Okay, so first thing you notice is that they don't have trash cans like that. Places like established grocery stores would have the big dumpsters.
Got it.
And those are easy to spot. They're not obviously up front. They're in the back where a lot of deliveries would be made. And as you wander, actually, going out back, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception and investigations check?
Okay.
What was the name of the place he arrived at?
Food Lion.
Food Lion.
Yep.
Oh boy. Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6, yes. And this is also a place you can find on Google in Pooler, Georgia. So if you want to take a look at what the layout looks like, please do.
Failure.
All right. We have a soundbite for that. There we go.
Failure.
So as you're walking around, dumpsters aren't hard to find. You can't fail to find them. But you're not finding anything that really stands out in the ordinary. It's possible that maybe they cleaned up around back there. It has been several hours from when the talking weasel told you about this, which is obviously not the oddest part of your day so far.
Yeah. Okay. any anybody who happens to be like homeless or anybody in the area that looks like they've been there for a while, or is it just devoid of people?
Why don't you give me another check?
Okay.
It is possible if you do take a look at the physical location. It's kind of a big parking lot that on the south end of things have some bushes and trees that kind of go around the perimeter.
Okay.
To be prime spots for people to hide and rest in. Stealth
Would this
camp.
be? Oh, okay. Would this be investigation or
Yes.
alertness?
No, it
Okay.
would be investigation again.
Shoot.
You're playing detective, but you're not skilled to be detective.
I know, right? Wrong character. Okay, 1 success.
Okay, well, you got something. So your instincts at least partly tell you, okay, well, this is kind of out in the open. I'm not seeing anybody obviously resting up against the wall. That'd be, obvious. So you kind of make your way through the parking lot a bit, back on the other side of where you parked, and towards the tree line and bushes and high grass and whatnot. Pretty untamed over here. And immediately you start seeing some signs of trash.
Okay.
So it's like, if nobody's here, then somebody probably was at some point in time.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of central. It doesn't look like wind is just blowing it up here. It looks like somebody may be making runs back and forth and just they leave their trash there. So kind of
Okay.
dumpy.
Gotcha. Well, all right. So we're not finding much except the trash here. He's going to go then inside the food line and see if he can just flag down like somebody that's at like the customer service uh, desk, if there is one, or anything like
Oh, there
that.
is 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you walk up there and there's a little chime. Attendant to customer service. Attention, attendant to customer service.
Not bad. Not bad.
And then eventually somebody, comes wandering up real quick, kind of putting on their apron again. Young girl, maybe early 20s. She has a name badge. The name badge looks a little newish.
Okay.
And she says, sorry, I was in the back. How can I help, sir?
Oh yeah, no worries. Appreciate you coming up here. Weird question, but I'm kind of looking for somebody. It's kind of an emergency situation. I'm hoping you can help me. Have you been on the clock maybe the past few hours? Have you like been on shift for a while, or did you just come on?
No. I've been here for a bit.
Great. So a friend of mine is missing, and I'm wondering if like her ex is doing something crazy. I know that one or both of them have shopped here sometimes. The guy I'm looking for, because I can't find her, but the guy I'm looking for, he's this big guy. Tends to work like around the docks, so he might smell fishy. Might have been rooting around outside. Does that any of this sound familiar?
Give me a charisma and subterfuge check.
Okay.
Difficulty 7.
Right. 1 success.
So she's like, she kind of thinks for a second. She says, I don't know. Can you tell me what the guy looks like again?
So yeah, he's actually a big fella, like big feet, like brick shithouse type of guy. Doesn't really wear great clothing. Gosh, just like this hulking kind of
Dale,
guy.
go ahead and roll your wits and alertness check.
Cool. Difficulty 6.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 successes.
Oh, even better. So as you're re-explaining this, and I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but you're kind of giving a little bit of detail here as to what this guy looks like. If she's new, she's probably not making a whole lot. Money might talk.
Yeah. And so he's like, you know what? I really would appreciate it. And like with the resources too, how much cash does P have on him right now?
You could easily whip out 40 if you
Okay.
want to. No problem.
Yeah. He'll go ahead and do that and be like, if you've got anything you could know, and he actually like kind of takes her hand and like puts the 40 in her hand and like kind of clasps it, like
Okay.
anything you can do to help me out here.
Charisma and subterfuge again, difficulty 5.
Nice. And I'll spend willpower too, why not?
Okay. He's gonna thoroughly grease those wheels.
Yeah. 4 successes.
Okay. So she was kind of surprised, but she quickly takes the money. Obviously, it's not a position she's supposed to be receiving a tip, and she says, "I think you're talking about Fruity Brute."
Fruity Brute.
Yeah, he's this kind of weird, smelly guy that comes in here every so often, and he's constantly like getting several boxes of the Fruity Brute cereal. And some other sugary like items, and he almost never pays for them.
Oh,
That's
so
kind of how we know who he is. We don't do anything about it because he only seems to really do that, and then he walks out. So he doesn't confront people. Management's kind of like, okay, well, this is kind of a lost leader. There's no reason to get too involved because
sure.
he seems a little 5150, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So he comes here off. How often does he come here? Do you know?
If it's the guy I'm thinking of, twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay. Gosh, you wouldn't happen to know where he hangs out or where he sleeps or anything?
Good grief, no.
No.
Like I if we're talking about the same guy, I don't want anything to do with him. He looks like intense.
Yeah, you could say that. Okay. Hmm. Do you happen to know what type of car he drives?
Yeah, I was out on a smoke break and I think I saw him leave at one point. He's got this beat up white old sports car.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Hey, well, gosh, yeah, I don't expect you to know absolutely everything, but yeah, I really appreciate it. So, Fruity Brute. Okay. Well, I really appreciate everything you told me. Unless there's anything else you can think about him that might be useful, trying to track him down.
And she's like trying to rack her brain about that. Um, yeah, we had a cleanup on aisle 9 where the cereal is stored at one point, when the last time he came in, and he had a bunch of like fresh potting soil on his shoes. That always looks different than like regular mud, like potting soil looks like, right? He's like
Right.
black with little flecks of white and whatnot. Like maybe he stepped in a bag of it or something, tracked it around everywhere.
Okay. Do you sell any of that here? Like, could it have just come from the store,
No,
or?
it didn't come from the store. That much I
Okay.
do know.
Okay. Gotcha. Potting soil. Would there be anything around town that has like a lot of gardens or anything that have that type of soil? Do you know?
She said, she stops to think and she says, yeah, one second. Hunting shark, do 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 do. Hunting shark. I need to go find my. There's my food lion. She says, I think there's a like a nursery or something up the road away.
Okay.
I mean, you could check that.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of shrugs. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of.
Got it. Hey, I really appreciate it. Could I give you just my phone number just in case he happens to come back here sooner than normal? Would you be willing
What's your
to?
appearance?
Appearance is 3.
She's like, of course, sure. In case he comes back. Right.
Really appreciate it. Yeah. So he goes ahead and he like gets a piece of paper from the counter, writes it down with a pen, hands that to her.
Yeah. So she tucks that away and puts it in the pocket on her apron real quick.
Yeah. Really appreciate it, miss. Thank you very much. You have a great night.
Oh, you as well. I hope you're able to find him.
Thank you. So then he goes ahead, heads back in his car, and goes to look for that nursery up the road.
Okay, well, the problem is that's very vague. So why don't we go ahead and... So are you just heading up the main road, and which way are you going? Are you going further northwest, or are you going back towards Savannah?
Let's see here. Well... first, maybe he can use his phone to see if if he can just find a nursery in the area. Can he just do that through Google first to see if that just brings up something?
He's gonna Googly it. Sure.
Gonna Google it. Okay.
Does he know about Google?
Yes, he knows about Google.
Not him, the host.
Right.
The host has memories of that sort of thing.
Yeah, close enough.
Let's see.
Which he can tap into.
Right. Would that be the plot thickens?
I know exactly.
Would that be computer and intelligence?
Computer or technology. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But and intelligence.
Does he have to call his host?
Difficulty 5. Yeah, he's got to call. Hey, do you have any memories of this Google thing?
Oh, for the love of God!
Or do we have to pull up Sierra Maps?
All we hear is screaming.
Just Bing it.
How dare you? Shoot! Failure.
Wow.
Dang.
We are babies.
So looking at it, he's like, I can't get.
You're having a problem right now with the signal.
Yeah.
It's like you have the right idea, but you're like, crap, dead zone.
Did he remember coming up, like passing by any nurseries on his way here, or no? Okay, so then he'll go ahead then and keep going northwest.
Okay, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Go ahead and chat amongst yourselves.
I'm gonna make Trailer Shark and City Heroes. You watch. They're gonna be in Marine Affinity water. And
That's gonna be awesome.
Nice. Man, I'm excited when we all are in the same room together.
Yeah.
room.
When we've all met.
When we've all met.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Right.
I'll cater it.
Yeah, it's good when we're all together.
Yeah, I still haven't met Charles.
I met him once, but he stood me up.
Oh.
I will be right back.
Uh-oh.
He was supposed to come by the bakery.
Oh, yes, the bakery that closes at 1:15 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Sometimes 1:10.
Oh.
That's when she's feeling risque.
Depends on how they're feeling, yes.
It's a small town. We cater to the locals. No, I guess we do have some tourism, but it's just a lunch cafe.
Okay, I'm back.
Breakfast lunch.
Alrighty.
Oh, you're wearing your Chaos Bard shirt.
Yes.
Huzzah.
Got to represent.
Representing. All right, so switching over to Charles and Joe. As you guys are done, did we... That's right. No, we rescheduled the shoot for the next night or the next day or something like that. If I remember correctly. Okay. So I have to get back to you on that. So hold that thought.
Okay.
I'm trying to think positioning wise because we stopped like right in the middle of the scene, like where we're at. I have to pay more attention to that now because not everybody is on the same time schedule. Some people are allergic to daylight. So,
All right. Raise your
Take
hand
some-
if you're allergic to daylight.
Take some Benadryl. Jeez.
I knew it.
okay, Shelley,
Hmm.
what was the madam doing at this point?
Probably just making her way back to her shack since she dropped off Sly.
Okay, so nothing in particular outside of that?
You didn't need any groceries in town?
No, and he didn't offer.
Yeah.
So-
I have Newt.
Yeah, looking the way she does.
Oh.
But
Probably better to deliver at that point. What are you here for?
Uber. I don't know if Uber comes out that far.
Not the swamp, no.
She'll probably go back and see if she can investigate a little bit more.
Investigate what?
Shark Dude, because he would have piqued her interest.
How are you going to investigate?
She will probably consult the cards again.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make that roll then?
It was a cult in
Intelligence.
Intelligence?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Pretty much all your magic-y stuff is going to be intelligence and occult unless the power specifically says otherwise.
And it's just a regular difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay. I might hope I do it right. It's MM, right?
Yes, /MM, yes.
Let's try that. 3 successes.
Okay. So now you're laying the cards down again and trying to focus on whoever this shark person is. And the vision, of course, is still kind of blurry as to what this person is, but you're not sensing the person could be a threat or may not be. It's divided, which is odd.
And so can she also pick up on his so-called passenger?
Actually, yeah, I forgot about that. And you find that there is something special about the individual.
About the one that he took?
Yes. Not in a, not necessarily in a, because again, some of this is instinct when you're looking at the cards, trying to interpret what it means. You're picking up, not necessarily, not a victim per se, something special in the sense of, there's more to her.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please? I got interrupted.
There's something about her, something more to her that is undecided, but it could have something to do with what's going on.
Could I put down a couple more cards, maybe like at a difficulty 7, to see if I can zero in on it?
Nope.
Nope.
Not at this point. No.
She will make some notes,
Okay.
and I think she will go ahead and get back into her boats and make her way to town.
Okay. Where are you going in town?
She doesn't know yet. She's just gonna let the universe.
You're just going to drive aimlessly around. Okay.
Well, she's going into town, but she doesn't drive, so I don't know. She'll stop when she.
So if you don't drive, how are you getting to town?
Well, she'll have to walk until she can get a signal and call for a car.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. Okay, so with that being said, then, Petra and Cade, Lillian does eventually show up. Comes pulling up on her bike, kicking down the stand and immediately like looking around, throws her coat up a little bit. And she says, "Okay, so P, I'm here. What's going on? What do we know?"
So I will go ahead and show her the car and then the bush with the footprints, and explain that I found her phone here, and that we saw some camera footage that indicates the white Mustang went by. It's possible that that's who took her, and ask her if there's anything that she reads in the scene that we didn't catch already.
Okay, so she looks around and she says, I mean, I can't read stuff like that. It would have to be like items specifically, and I don't know if the cell phone is going to give me anything. Is her car still here?
She points to it.
Okay. She says, "Let me try that real quick." And so she wanders off to the car, and she kind of runs her hand along the sides and across the trunk, not actually going inside it, just kind of trying to get a read for it. And she says, "I think she was followed."
Like before she got to the school?
It's hard to say, because it's not like camera work. It's not like I can just read anything that goes on around it. But I think I saw a car in the visual that I just picked up while she was driving that kind of fits the description of what you're talking about. Did you back check anything here, or did you trace your steps back at all? Does she have anybody that has an interest in her in that way?
Not that I'm aware of. I can't imagine that she would have met anybody at the cafe that would do this to her. I don't remember seeing anyone suspicious.
So you're positive she doesn't have any like bad relationships, bad romance, anything like that?
Well,
so we're ruling that out, right?
She's got an ex, but she hasn't seen him for several years, and to be honest, I don't know what he looks like, so
okay.
that wouldn't help us.
We do have a make and model of the car that we believe is the kidnappers. It's a 1978 white Mustang. Is there any way we can uh, get eyes out on the streets? Perhaps if this guy must have some place that he must have taken her.
Okay, that's going to take some time, but I can make a call for that.
Okay. Uh, yes.
Why don't you go back to your place and try and rule that out? I know your grounds
Yeah.
have some cameras. If
Yeah.
this is something that close, you can at least rule that out.
I mean, if he is a fishy smelling person, I suppose that's our wharf is as good a place to look as any.
Fishy, smelly.
Yes. He smells quite pungent with the smell of fish.
Is there something you're not telling me about this guy?
Uh, Wears size 14 shoes, presumably quite large because he carried her from the bushes where he accosted her into his vehicle as he left the place.
Huh. All right. Well, let me make that call to the police contact then, and I guess head back. I'll see if there's something else I can pick up on. Right now, this is all I can do, but I'll let you know if I find out more.
We'll head back to my place and take a look at the cameras.
Okay. Let me know what you find out.
George is out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just make an executive decision and have Cade follow me back to the cafe, and we'll start looking at the cameras.
Okay.
And it's evening right now, right?
It is, yes. At this point, you're
Okay.
looking at about 9 at night.
Okay. I'm going to, while I'm getting that ready, I'm going to text Charlotte and say, I don't know if you're back yet, but have you or Amon noticed a beat up white Mustang recently around the wharf? ? Send.
Okay.
Would Charlotte have seen anything, Jerome?
Possibly. You've been buried in your little book
Yes, I have.
at this point, trying to translate it.
Mhm.
But so maybe not so much you, but your people might have.
Okay.
So you might. So that means you're going to probably want to check with Sly, and you're probably going to check with Amon.
Yes. I first go to Amon. I put my book up, and I will text Petra back saying, I haven't myself. I am back. Let me go ask Amon. Send. And then I text Amon and I was like, I need you. Come find me. Or I excuse me. Where are you? We need to talk. Send.
Okay. He just tells you that he's at the bookstore right now, just dealing with basically with another purchase, so restocking, cataloging, and whatnot, while the store is
Okay.
closed.
Okay, so I will then travel to the bookstore.
Okay.
And I keep an eye out for said vehicle while I travel.
Oh, sure. Okay. You don't see anything that lines up with that. Your drive actually takes obviously a little bit. You're across town from the place of employment, or your other business, I should say. But I mean, he's there. The one light is still on the inside. It's clearly showing that it's closed. It's not open for business currently, but he's just going through some inventory.
So she unlocks the door, comes in, relocks it, and Aman. So, hello.
Hi. Sorry, ma'am. I'm just in the process of going through some other stock and
course.
getting that cataloged.
I received a message from Petra saying she has been on the lookout for. She describes the vehicle because Abby's brain can't remember that at the moment. A white Mustang beat up. Have you seen one around the wharf lately?
He shrugs. He says, I'm sorry, ma'am. I haven't been paying much attention to that. I've just been kind of holding the fort where the business has been taken care of. You could check with Sly, your new employee.
True. All right, I will give him a call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
And
Yeah, you are.
in the meantime, Petra's gonna text back and say, Charlotte's missing. It looks like she was kidnapped.
You mean Courtney?
Yeah, Courtney, not Charlotte. Courtney is missing. It seems she was abducted. That's the clue that we have that we're working with. Send.
Okay.
When Charlotte reads that message, she's like, how else can I help? Do you need support? And send, and then she calls Sly.
Okay. Sly's phone starts to ring. Beep, 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 beep.
Why is that so familiar? Weird. Anyway, all right. Hello.
Hello, Sly. How are you?
Oh, hey, boss. Oh, gosh. Yeah, not at work. Uh-oh, am I in trouble?
No, of course not. But there is a matter of supernatural that I have to ask of you.
Okay.
Have you been on the wharf lately?
The wharf. What is Star Trek? Oh, the wharf. The thing. No. No. Why?
Well, a friend of mine, her daughter may be missing, and what?
Cousin.
Cousin may be missing, and the suspected information we have is they were in a vehicle, a beat up old Mustang that is white. Do you by chance know anything about that?
Huh. Well, funny you should mention that. White sports car old, huh? Let's see. And, girl's gone missing. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been trying to, find that guy. I'm on my way, hopefully. Not too good at this area. He came by this, food line. He's apparently a regular there. But he just steals cereal. Um, it's a whole thing. I know that doesn't make any sense, but apparently this guy has kidnapped a lady, and if it's the same one that you're talking about, the guy apparently had some potted soil on his boot. So I'm trying to find a nursery in this area. I'm in Pooler, Georgia, just outside Savannah. You know that place?
Not super familiar with it, but I've been there. I'm sorry, I picked up a proper accent. um,
It's fitting.
Yeah.
Pooler, Georgia.
Yeah. Just northwest of Savannah. That's where the food line was, where I was told he was at. Seems like that's true. The only other clue I've got so far, he's probably around here as far as where he lives, but I really don't know where he lives. The only thing I know is that he was seen having some potted soil on his feet, his boots. So I'm thinking he lives in a place that has that. He's recently been to a nursery, so I'm trying to find a nursery nearby, see if I can connect some more dots.
Do you have a signal out there?
I mean, I'm talking to you right now. I'm literally in my car. Why did you say this was a supernatural matter?
That was Abby's mistake. Because I don't know that you're supernatural.
Right.
Um,
And we don't know that the kidnapper is supernatural.
Nope.
nope. Sorry.
Yeah, backpedal that one.
Well, etiquette.
I know.
Time to roll.
Simply that it is not a natural order of business that I'm asking you.
Am I gonna get get some hazard pay for this? Hey, if I actually find her, do I get a promotion? Can I get your job?
Yes.
Well, shoot. I'll find her in a few hours then, if that's the case.
May I three-way my friend in, whose cousin is missing?
Oh, right. Yeah, sure, go for it.
She'll be most grateful for this information. Okay, and I call Petra.
Okay.
Jerome.
Ah.
I would like to have Cassandra actually text Sly, telling him once she gets into town and has a signal that she has more information for him.
Okay.
So
All
I
right,
call
so-
Petra.
So Petra's phone begins to ring. I think you're so special.
She will answer it immediately.
Okay. For some reason, you
Charlotte,
have K-pop.
have you found something?
I have a worker of mine, Sly, who has some information that you'll want to hear.
Your new guy?
Yes.
And
Oh, has he seen the car?
And Sly, just as you hear them talking, you hear them cut out a second, like kind of low, as you hear bling.
Oh,
yes.
One second. Looks at his phone.
You have a text message.
Oh, shoot. Reads the text. What's it say?
You're fired.
I know exactly that.
You are fired. Oh.
No hazard pay for you.
It would say this is Madame Devereaux, and the cards have revealed more information. Can we meet?
Uh-oh. She wants you back in the swamp.
My gators are lonely.
All the ladies want me back in the swamp, I tell you. No, so he tries to text back quickly. Driving right now in Pooler, Georgia. And he sends that, and then he goes ahead and puts the thing on just speaker, so he doesn't have to hold his phone.
Okay.
Hey, and then he's like, hey, yeah, so Petra, yeah, you and I met the other day at the bookstore, right?
Yeah, I'm at the cafe next door.
That's right. Gosh. Okay, so it's your cousin who's missing?
That's right.
Right. Okay.
It seems that she may have been followed from the cafe to the school, and then that's where we found her car, her phone, and footprints, and camera showed this Mustang driving by. Seems like our best bet. What is it that you know?
Well, I managed to find out that a very large individual uh, is in Pooler, Georgia, or in this area. He frequents the food lane here. He doesn't pay for anything, he just steals cereal. He's not a very sociable guy. And pretty sure that he's the one who had a girl tied up in the back of his car, an old white sports car, somewhere in this area. The only other thing I've got about him is that he had some potting soil on his boots. That's what my source said. So, trying to find any nurseries up here in Pooler, Georgia. Hey, I was looking for that in the phone. Do you know of any nurseries up here, Pooler, Georgia, around the food line? Is there some way either of you can search for that?
Oh, yeah, we can look. I'm not familiar with. I'm not a gardener, but
Right. I'm just looking for if you can Google where the nursery is. I'm trying to find it right now. I'm just kind of paplessly driving.
sure. This guy, do you think he smells fishy? Maybe like a fisherman or a dock worker? That's the only other detail that we got from the scene.
Real quick, you said that you think he followed her from the cafe?
Perhaps. Don't have evidence yet. I was just about to check the cameras.
Okay. You need to be very careful. I've tangled with this guy before.
You have?
I have, but he was different then. Let me
Like,
just put it this way. Let me put it
not
this
homeless?
way. Well, no. Interesting that he has a car. Know what that probably means. Okay, well, so
I'm confused.
right. No, sorry.
Get to
Driving,
the point,
talking
please.
to people. Yes. Oh, gosh, so pushy. God, your friend, my boss. Holy cow. Okay, so yes, he's dangerous, and you know what? I'm just gonna put my cards out on the table. I know there's something about both of you, and I know there's something about him. Savannah's an interesting place. It's why I came here, and both of you have a very interesting, just long-lived quality about the two of you. I can't really place it exactly, but I'm thinking one of us has pissed off Fruity Brute. Yes, that's right. You heard it correctly. Fruity Brute. That's what we're calling this guy because that's apparently the cereal he loves and steals twice a week from Food Line. Yeah, he's not a fisherman. He doesn't work at the wharf. If you find him, do not actually approach him. If you have to fight him for whatever reason, I actually suggest you don't. You might just want to run, just depending on how much experience you've got. Probably best to not engage this guy.
I'll take that under advisement.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still looking for him, of course. Have either of you found out anything about a nursery in this area? Hopefully, I'm not driving the wrong direction.
I guess, Jerome, can we Google that?
Yeah. Since you
Do we
guys
need to
are
roll
where you're at,
something?
I'm not going to make you roll.
Okay.
So you actually come up with 3 places: Pooler Plant Pickup Station. Say that 5 times fast. Old Savannah Gardens, and Chatham Nurseries, or Chatham, sorry, Chatham Nurseries Incorporated.
Yeah,
Well,
I will
shoot.
send all 3 of those. Maybe we should split up and each check out one of them.
That could work. That can work. Yeah. Okay. I guess I will choose Chatham Nurseries if you two want to go for the other 2.
I will take the old.
What were the other 2, Jerome?
Old Savannah Gardens and Pooler Plant Pickup Station.
I'll take old Savannah Gardens.
Sorry, Pooler what? Plant?
Pickup
Pooler
station.
Plant
I have to write this
Pickup
out.
Station.
So
No, I know,
there's
I
3
know.
names here.
It's,
Yeah.
Either
it's
put
just,
them in the chat or spell them out.
hold
Or
on.
Pooler Okay. And I don't know how to spell Cheatham, whatever
Chatham.
it is. Channing.
Channing Tatum.
I also send a message to Dax, my security guard, and tell him to meet me at the bookstore. So I'll take him with us.
Okay. So just to let you know, if you're looking at those of you who are looking at the map, Old Savannah Gardens and Pooler Plant Pickup Station are almost across the street from one another. They're within a very close vicinity to one another. Chatham Nurseries, however, is actually further up the road. Hold on a second. Let me get that. There we go. And that is actually... Let me get that back on the map. Come on. Okay, well, let me go back here. Where is the...
Who's checking? So Sly, you're checking out the Chatham Nurseries. Charlotte, you're checking out the Old Savannah Gardens, and
I'll take the pickup station.
Petra's doing the pickup station. Okay.
And
So
I'll
when you guys are
George.
looking at the locations, the only one that's actually near or that's down the road from Food Line is actually Chatham Nurseries. So, Sly, if you want to tell them that, you can, or you can go it alone.
Okay. So, you know what? I need to make sure that you're not hurt. I've got a job to do. I've got to find her. If either of you want to come up here and search, that's fine. Seems like, I'm already in this area, so I'm going to be searching. I think time is of the essence here.
You said he was dangerous to approach. Shouldn't you wait for backup?
Not necessary.
Yeah, what happened? What happened when you tangled with him before?
He ran away from me.
He ran away.
Petra, roll wits and awareness. Difficulty 5.
3 successes.
Based on what he's saying, he's the mystery man behind the grassy knoll. Kidding. When you guys went to
I was like, that doesn't sound familiar.
I know, yeah. He was on the grassy knoll. No, he was the other guy in the alleyway then. From the location you guys had investigated.
Interesting.
Which means if that's him, who was then the other guy, the bum, is probably the fishy guy.
This is starting to make a little more sense, in a manner of speaking. Okay, I'm going to head your way.
I will as well.
Okay.
Did I hear back from Dax at all?
No, he just sent you a thumbs up and he's on his way.
Okay.
That's pretty much what he does. I mean,
Yeah.
He's there for you to command, so he's not really going to add much of anything except on my way.
I will amend and send him the address to the nursery.
Gotcha. Okay.
The Chatham nursery.
That works. Okay, so you guys are en route to the Chatham nursery. All right, so Joe and Charles, as you guys are heading back, I believe actually Jocelyn was driving.
Yeah, she was the ride. I thought we dropped him. We dropped him off somewhere, right? Or he took an Uber home.
I took an Uber home.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
so-
I took an Uber home, but he would have stopped by Mikhail's office first
Okay.
to let him know about the deal.
Okay, so then I'll get to Joe in a second. Charles,
Sure.
So you are following up with Mikhail, and he doesn't have an office here per se. He's got his own hotel room, which is obviously serving as his office.
Sure.
Everything's on a budget. So you show up at his hotel room, and like right after you knock, he opens up the door and he's like, "Charles,
Mikhail,
it sounds like it went very good. I just received a call. We got the funding."
oh, you got the funding. Good. Did you agree to his terms?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, just double checking. Just double checking.
This guy seems to be a high roller. He threw in hookers.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we got the funding. You're happy. I'm happy. I just wanted to check up and see how you were doing.
No,
Sounds like you're doing pretty good.
I am, how you say, elated. This is
Okay.
very good. We're going to make a bigger picture. He seems to have connections to distributors.
Ooh, okay. All right. So I guess it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Have a good night, Mikhail. Take care.
And he's like, "Oh, where do you go? We are going to drink to this."
Oh yeah, okay. Let's drink.
So he's like, he motions you inside his room.
Oh.
He says, "No, we must drink. This is going to be very, very good time. Very, very good for the picture. We have more funding, more potential for distribution. This is very good."
All right. What are we drinking?
Vodka,
Okay.
of course.
Okay. He's looking for the vodka bottle.
Yeah, it's Stoli's or
Yeah.
the good stuff from Russia,
All right.
or
yeah,
some good stuff from Russia.
He'll pour 2 bottles. Savage Streets.
Well, not bottles, glasses. Good grief!
Yeah,
You're going to get tanked right away. You're like, yeah.
Let's go, buddy. 1 bottle for you. Well, that's how they do in Russia. 1 bottle for you, 1 bottle for you. But yeah, 2 shot glasses full of vodka.
Okay.
To Savage Streets.
The savage streets. Listen, I have idea percolating upstairs. New scene. Lots of action. Wanted to know if you wanted stunt guy or if you want to do.
Is it driving related?
No, it's not. It's not driving related.
Then I can do the stunt. I can do the stunt.
He says, okay, we have stunt person on board, but I'll make sure that you do your first call for stunts. And he starts like showing you like something he's kind of roughly sketched up, and it's he says, we have to shoot this guerrilla style. We don't have licensing for this, so mum's the word, and you need to make sure we don't have any. We only have so many takes we can. In fact, we could only have the one take. But I'm going to have as many cameras on it, so we have several angles to do this from. And what he's showing you is very Jackie Chan-ish.
Okay.
It's like you're going to be on top of like a 5-story building. There's going to be leaping across. The fight kind of goes back and forth. You're gonna, he's as he's explaining it. There's going to be a shot of you like almost falling. And then you pull yourself back, as he's explaining, it's like a super dynamic, fight on the rooftop sort of thing. And then you end up getting knocked off, and you're going to fly from the top of the 5-story building down into the 3rd-story window. And of course he's explaining, they'll be, they're not going to see the pads or whatnot, but they're going to have pads on the inside.
Okay.
And he's kind of sketching this out. He's like, if we get this picture is good.
Okay.
We can have crap love scene. We can have crap car chase. But if this goes off, fans love it. It'd be like Kevin Speakman and the Kempo sticks. Mm-hmm. Do you know the Kevin Speakman?
I don't, but I'm sure I believe you.
Okay, you
actually, yeah. You know what? We should probably work on this.
Go to the YouTube and take a look. It's very dynamic. It's good stuff.
Okay. Do you want to do a brainstorming session now, or you want to wait till?
No, of course. We're drinking.
Let's
Great
go.
brainstorm.
Okay, yeah. So, I want to lean on my stunt expertise to sort of help. Like make notes, like turn his vision into notes of what we need to do.
Sure. Okay.
And like
give me a intelligence and athletics check.
Ooh. Intelligence. Athletics. Oh no, wait, this is /MEM.
Yes.
Do I want to spend a willpower? Yes, I do. 4 successes. Okay, that's a good.
Nice. Okay.
That's a good session.
So at first, this is all super intimidating. Like it's exciting, but super dangerous. And so then you start looking at like, okay, so if I do this and I set this up here and we do this, you're like, okay, this sounds feasible. You're like this. It's still risky. It's super risky, but you're now able to like see it in your mind's eye, like how hard you're gonna need to jump, how far you need to clear. You're like, can you get like a little bit of a running start for the fall to fall into the window? So so gauging everything, where to place the pads. It's all coming together, and it's like it sounds way safer now that you've walked through it than when he initially proposed it. He's clearly the idea guy. And you're
right.
Okay, we're gonna make it reality guy. Like,
nice.
How can we do this safely? And what he put down on paper, this is gonna be amazing. It's one of those, you're risking body, your life and limb, but if you get it on camera, much like Jackie Chan, it's gonna look phenomenal.
Awesome. Okay.
It's clear. Yeah, the insurance. Nobody's got policies for this. So It's going to be one of those things that like they have to set up quickly, get everything in place, and then hopefully get the shot, and then eventually get out and act like it's what they're supposed to be doing the whole time. Which conveniently enough, almost all of the first Terminator movie was shot without permits. It was all guerrilla style, from what I
Wow.
understand. They did not get permission to do that, so yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. So Charles is jazzed about that. That's awesome.
And then he says, and then he's got a really good idea for like an improv sword fight.
Okay.
He knows you're good with swords.
Uh-huh.
So what? Obviously, the building is he's using as a facade. Like the building internally could be whatever it is you need it to be. So like basically, what it is after you get knocked, down and thrown through, it's like at this point, like you're stunned and beat up or whatnot. But his plan is that you get knocked into what is what is basically like a what do they call them? It's a
like an armory, or
well, it's like an armory, but basically it's like it's a storehouse.
Okay.
Is what it is, where a company that sells martial arts equipment
okay.
ships from. And so you get knocked in through there. He comes flying in through the, through there. And then after that, you take that hit and tumble or whatnot, they're going to shoot someplace else to make it look like, you tumbled into the storehouse. And then you guys start grabbing weapons and improving it from there, like bokens, swords, the weighted chain, and whatnot. So obviously there's going to be stuff to pull from, to try and make this fight. So he's like, he doesn't know what the fight is going to look like. This is obviously the idea behind it. He has to wait to see what he can get his hands on as far as equipment tomorrow. And so he's going to be working on that. He's going to, try and get as much random stuff, to get. And of course, he has, which if you look at any, and Rachel can back me up on this. If you look at any B action flick, especially from the 80s and 90s, there's always a scene where people fight and get knocked into cardboard boxes.
Always.
So he's
Inevitable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's getting loads of cardboard boxes for that effect too.
Awesome. Okay.
He's trying to appease that crowd, and basically target that audience at that point, because that's clearly something that is underserved right now. So that's kind of what he's got percolating in the back of his head right now. But he's like, it will be good. It depends what I get my hands on.
Okay. All right, Mikhail. That sounds like we got a winner on our hands. This is great. But yeah, with that, we toasted, we did storming session. Charles will let him go.
Okay. So at that point, you head on out. Joe, you and Jocelyn, obviously it's late. It's later at night at this point, but you guys end up hitting up a Denny's. No, actually, you're in the South. You end up hitting up a Waffle House.
Yeah. Cool. That works.
Just for some quick eats. It's open late, obviously. You are, as you guys are there, some monster truck rally ended up getting out. And so there's obviously people starting to come in. It's getting kind of busy. And people have been drinking. So while you guys are sitting there, just doing your own thing, you end up seeing like some guy, maybe was a fan of Gravedigger, something's got a Gravedigger shirt, ends up almost getting into a fight with one of these servers, at Waffle House. People talking amongst themselves, taking bets. Who's gonna do what. Somebody joking about Waffle House foo.
Oh, are they bugging us?
No. It's getting rowdy.
I'm gonna look over at Jocelyn. I'm like, man, these guys can't hold their liquor. I hope they're not driving afterwards, but I mean, They're getting pretty rowdy. What poor server.
She says, well, I mean, they're picking a fight at Waffle House. Most of these guys know how to fight.
That's true. That's true. But you can take them on any day. You know.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope I don't have to.
No, I'm not saying you have to. This would not be the place. So I mean, basically, I just will go eat some dinner, and I don't know. After that, what we're doing?
Okay. Let me get my dice out. Uno momento for flavors.
Once they start getting like really loud and rowdy and stuff, she'll suggest that they go ahead and go at that point.
Sure.
Like even
odd
more
or
so.
even, Rachel?
Even.
Okay. So that goes through fine. You spent part of the night kind of feeling each other out, like where, not like literally,
No,
but
she's not that easy.
Right. But kind of without actually saying it, kind of gauging kind of where you're at. But she obviously doesn't pursue anything at this point, which is probably good because you're trying to keep your cover.
Yeah.
But she eventually drops you off at your place.
Okay. She will end the night with a quick kiss as a surprise.
Okay.
And just say, I hope I see you around. Probably will. I'll be on set. I think there's some more stunts coming up, but we'll see.
She says, well, I'm sure you will if I don't see it first.
Mm-hmm. All right. So go in, and it's what, like midnight at this point?
Yeah,
Something like that?
Yeah.
So, well, she's a night owl, so probably what she'll end up doing after she gets back is probably end up going to change into like her work clothes, and she's just gonna go to the garage.
Okay.
Tinker
Sounds
with
good.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Okay. So Sly, so you are obviously on your way. As a reminder, you did receive a text from the Madam Swamp.
Yeah. So then, did we then finish the three-way call?
Presumably, yeah.
Okay. All right. So then he is going to just then call the Madam back.
Okay.
Put her on speakerphone.
Hello?
Hi there. Yeah, sorry, I was taking a call and driving beforehand, but yeah, I was trying to text you. I'm in Pooler, Georgia right now, still looking for Sharkman. You got some more info?
I do. Though I'm not in Pooler, I'm here in Savannah. I'm heading to my own store. The guards did tell me that they don't seem to think she is in immediate danger. And they also suggested that she is not a victim.
Not a victim?
But there's something very special about her.
Oh. I mean, she didn't choose to get tied up and kidnapped. Unless that's what you're saying the cards are saying?
No, the guards did not tell me that. They just said that she is not a victim. And that there is something special about her.
Okay.
And Cassandra, from your bag, you end up hearing, "Hey, buddy, are we gonna stop at the cute tea so I can wheeze a little juice?"
Yes, my darling, we will.
All right then.
There is another method that I can try once I get to the shop. Are you familiar with mirror gazing?
Well, I have gazed into a mirror on occasion. I do know how they work, light reflecting off of it and all of that. I'm guessing you mean something more potent than that, though, right?
Oui.
Yeah, I myself not a mirror gazer in that way. What do you do?
Well, if done correctly, I can receive a vision. Um, I it's almost kind of like scry.
Oh, like seeing a place from far away, like what all the bad guys in the '80s cartoons did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it could show me that, or it can show me something from the past or from the future.
Okay, well, Doc Brown, what are you gonna do? Look past, future, right now? What's your plan?
What do you want me to search for?
I mean, where the guy is now. If you can find out literally where he went, I'll just go knock on his door and we'll have a chat, Sharky and me.
Very well. I will be in touch.
Sounds good.
So she will have the cabbie or the Uber take her to Mystic Knights.
I'm sorry, where?
Her shop, Mystic
Okay.
Knights.
Okie doke. All right, so just to recap then, is Charlotte and Petra going to the same place, or are you guys splitting up to check all the other nurseries?
We are all going to go to the nursery, Chatham Nurseries.
Chatham Nursery.
Chatham.
Okay.
Correct.
And I'm taking Cade also.
Technically, Cade is with you, even though he's having some bad connection issues right now.
Unfortunately, the accent doesn't work on my internet.
Maybe it's not the right accent.
Oh no.
Oh.
You need to show it to who's boss.
Do you guys
maybe try the French?
Sweet.
Do you guys want to all drive together? Do you guys want to all drive together?
Well, we already ended the call, right?
Yeah, we would have made the arrangements though.
Well, he's like already in the area, so he would just say that he's driving there.
Not Sly. I mean,
Okay.
Charlotte, Petra, and Cade.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that was offered in character, Char would offer to drive.
How fast can you drive though?
Ooh.
How fast can I drive?
She can drive Davy style.
The speed limit, perhaps.
Out of character, I only have one dot and drive.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
But
me
my vehicle is decked out in safety features, so
Okay, I suppose we could do the driving.
So when you inevitably crash, you'll be fine.
Yeah. The childproof locks will make sure that we do not die.
And the in-seat screens will keep us,
In the
entertained
vehicle.
while we're
entertained.
All right. So then all of you, obviously Sly is there first. Sly, are you approaching or are you waiting for everybody else to show up?
He's gonna approach to see if there's just anything to see initially, if the guy happens to be here already or whatever.
Okay. So you come pulling up into the parking lot of this particular place. Well, I should say it's not so much of a parking lot. You have to go down a dirt road off of the main road that you were on, and you pass up a home and an open lot with a couple of vehicles. And then you see the nursery back there is like rows and rows of plants, and the main building parked right out in front of the nursery is the vehicle in question.
Oh boy. Okay. So then he's going to walk over to the vehicle to see if he can see anything inside. Look through the windows.
I'm gonna put this in the discussion chat. That way you guys have an overview of what you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
Lots of trees, dirt road, open lots. So you look inside the car. Go ahead and give me a perception and investigations check.
Okay. You an investigation. Oh my god.
I know you're doing the detective thing.
Ah,
Shock.
I know where your points are going.
So
yeah,
do I.
exactly. Let's see here.
This is gonna be Ben
Difficulty 6, I
2.0.
take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is kind
Failure.
It is kind of dark. That's probably why you failed.
Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot of light around here. There is a single light over the door to this particular place, and there are a couple of lights out on the nursery itself, but otherwise it's pretty dark here.
Yeah, shoot. He'll try again because it's dark, and he'll like get out his phone and like turn on its flashlight and like even use
Sure.
that to take a look.
Go ahead and check again.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
One success.
Okay. So you kind of scan over. It's hard to tell. You only got one success, but you do see on the floorboard of the vehicle on the driver's side,
Yeah.
it does look like there's some dirt,
Okay.
but it's blackish dirt
Okay.
as opposed to like brownish or the clay or what you might normally see on a road.
Right. Okay. So then while standing there, he puts his phone away and he's gonna use his supernatural awareness to see what he can sense just in this area, the car and the nursery area.
Oakley dokley.
And let's see here. Okay, so that takes perception awareness. Okay. Difficulty 6. 3 successes.
Okay. I don't think I grabbed that, did I? No. 1 second.
Mhm.
That's how it's reader. Okay, so I need to clip that. So I don't have to keep going in the book. Okay, 1 second.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You were kind enough and put that stuff on your sheet.
Yeah,
There we go.
those powers start on like page 171 in the
171.
book, I
Yep.
think.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Sweet.
171. Here we go. There we go. Because I remember it was useful, but not also it also wasn't very super specific.
Right, exactly. Like I get a feel of the qualities in the area.
Let's see. Supernatural awareness. And you got how many successes?
What did I say? 3.
Okay. So you detect the presence of something supernatural in the area. And it is coming from the direction of the building itself. The building for the nursery, not the other buildings there.
Okay. All right. Then he will text Char and say his car is here. Can't find her. He might be in the nursery. Would you like me to wait? Question mark.
Jar texts back. Yes, please wait for your own. No. Okay. Yes, please
Tell him,
wait.
tell him how long we anticipate being.
And
It's going to be about 10 minutes.
I give him ETA 10 minutes.
I'll be here. Send. And then he waits there and he makes sure that if he sees Sharky walking out, he's going to see him.
Are you just standing there, or are you trying to hide?
Nah, he's just going to stand there.
Next to the white car or yours?
Let's see. Well, he's going to want to come for. Well, he'll stand next to his car. He'll stand next to his own car. Yeah.
Okay. So nothing apparently is happening. You do eventually hear the gravel popping of tires coming from behind you, and the lights as you see another car coming down that dirt road towards you.
I give a quick wave, let him know where I'm at since it's dark.
And Jar gives a wave and parks next to him.
Okay.
Hi there, ladies. Char, Petra. Sorry, the circumstances are so bleak, but glad you could make it. That's his car right over there.
Petra's gonna go over to the car and open the trunk and like shine her phone light around it just to see if there's like signs of blood, I guess.
Why don't you give me a dexterity and larceny check?
Tromo, am I there or
Yes.
did I come along?
You came along. We just haven't really been able to communicate with you about that because of your connection. But yes, you came along.
No, that's why I was asking. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, what's going on?" If like, nope, you got sent back to the.
I know, right? Yeah.
to go can peaches.
Yep. Millions of peaches.
Failure.
Ooh.
But not a botch, just a fail.
Is Cade still like in dog form or
No.
I closed it in a bush.
I introduce Cade to Sly.
Oh, you're here to well, funny meeting you here. Wow, it's a weird type of reunion. What got you looped in with these ladies?
You two know each other?
Oh yeah, he actually came by the shop the other day.
Yes. Honestly, I'm not surprised that this group just gets ever larger. But yes, it is good to see you again, my mysterious friend. Perhaps I was listening in on the phone. I was. You seem to know a bit more about this creature than perhaps. Could you perhaps describe it to me? The way you made it sound like it was especially dangerous.
So it's pretty clear the four of us here standing are not your typical folk. And he's gonna look around. Is there like anybody else in the area, or is it just kind of
right now? It's just you and some guy you don't recognize.
Okay.
Who seems to be like waiting near Cade.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes, he's fine.
Okay.
Oh, that's his squire, huh?
Yes.
Like, so I don't know about this guy next to you. I haven't met him before, but I'm guessing if he's traveling around with you, probably knows something.
He just kind of politely waves and just stays near Cade.
Dale, I gave you a reroll just in case.
Thank you. Awesome. He's like, okay, so you don't really want to tangle with them unless you are strong. And I mean strong. The reason why you're having a fishy smell, You see, at first, I was thinking about it, and I thought, oh, so he's a man that turns into a shark. Because when he turned into a shark and tried to bite me in half in that alleyway, that was rough. But he doesn't act human. So I'm wondering if he's actually more a shark who can turn into a man. I know that might sound weird. Anyway, he's like a werewolf is a wolf
is
with
that
whatever.
a thing? An
I mean, I
animal
fought
that
him.
could turn into a person?
Oh, could be.
Drum, could I perhaps roll occult to see if I know what this creature might be, now that I have a better description of it?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence and occult check? Difficulty 8.
May I also roll to find out?
Sure,
Or no?
same difficulty.
Okay.
Mr. Cotton's parrot. Same question.
Oh, I got a failure.
Guess I should have given you that reroll.
We are babies.
It's my first failure. This is the first time the accent has let me down. It's because of the internet.
Let's see.
What'd you get, Abby?
Also a failure.
Did we roll the same thing?
Unbreaded.
Abby, you need to throw in some good old fried chicken with that roll.
Okay, well, guess is as good as...
We know nothing.
Yeah, not a darn thing.
Okay. But you said this thing definitely attacked you, so we do know it's hostile.
Yeah, if you provoke him. Yeah, if you get too close and he's hungry, he likes the word food. He does like fruit brute. I should have bought a bag of that or something.
What is fruit brute?
It's a cereal. Fruity, sugary cereal. Apparently he loves it. He goes to the food line down the way, apparently twice a week, to just steal several boxes of it and walk out.
So he's a shark that eats cereal.
He's a very simple...
Or does he have a pet?
Can it be killed?
I mean, it's alive. I don't know of anything alive that can't eventually die.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. But yes, it's a good point, Charlotte. If the cereal might not be for him, it might be for his captives. Well,
That's actually a good point. Speaking of which, I don't know where she is, but he pretty sure is in there.
Right.
Okay, well let's go.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what all of you can do. I mean, I know what I can do, but are you all equipped to deal with Shark Man?
I unzip my the case I've been carrying.
Whoa! Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like,
Yes. Isn't that how all knights fight?
As
a sword fight.
As Sly asks that,
yeah, it sure is.
As Sly asks that, Cade reaches down and is all, "Excuse me while I whip this out."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, into the case that I'm carrying on my back, I unzip it and I'll pull out my scabbard with a long sword.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Petra also reaches into her sweater and mysteriously pulls out a 4-foot long sword as well.
Are you an anime character from the 80s?
Close.
Is that sweater magical? Can I get one? Because that would be more it'd be more easy to carry things than the case. But
Char, if you can reach into your purse and pull out an AR-15, I would feel a lot better right now because we got two people with swords against sharks.
She reaches into her purse and does pull out a pistol.
Okay.
Not an AR-15, unfortunately.
Okay, I mean, good. No, right step. Good step. Whew. Okay.
I am also a doctor if anyone gets injured.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So yeah, he changes really fast, by the way. Doesn't take him long at all to go from man to shark man. And he literally does stand on 2 feet. Haven't seen him be a full shark, but it's no water for him to swim in. So yeah, big dude. And be careful. And reasoning with him doesn't seem like that's gonna work. He's a very simple man shark or shark man or whatever.
So as you guys are talking, you end up hearing this as the front door opens.
Look that way.
Okay. The
Shark
door,
Man?
door just opens.
Oh. Huh. Well,
Petra will
sufficiently
head
creepy.
towards the door.
Has Dax arrived yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's there are two other individuals here. There is the Squire Takade, who is remaining back and is taking. Basically, he's there to take the things from Cade that he doesn't need, and is kind of holding on to him. So if you've seen the Fallout series, think the Squire originally from the Brotherhood of Steel kind of thing. But he's athletic looking. He's got kind of short hair, well kept, and just has his things, and go get him, sir. And then another individual comes walking up. He is very average looking, athletic build as well. Short hair, brown. He is in polo and slacks.
He probably has a gun too.
He does.
Did he pull it out of his purse?
He probably has a holster.
It's a European man bag.
It's a fanny pack.
Oh yes,
At least it's not a fanny pack.
Yeah, no. He pulls out an MP5 and locks it and slaps it.
His purse must be quite large.
What's that?
His purse must be quite large.
Merce.
Murder's
Okay, yeah.
Versace. Of course it is.
Man.
No, he pulled it out from his car.
Oh, whatever.
Have you seen those Versace bags?
Yeah, there you go.
Jerome, I do have a question about my my weapon. How long does it take for me to activate it?
It can be activated.
Hold on a second.
Yes, because I've not used it so far, and I know the cost to activate it, but in terms of how long it takes,
it should be the moment you spend the points.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like, oh, it'll take 1 round to activate, and that'll
No.
Okay.
You should be good.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I should do it now or wait until the moment. Okay,
that is entirely up to you.
Okay, but the door is open. Do we see anybody standing on the porch? No.
No, and the smut. Yes, smut. The nursery door is glass, so because this is a storefront.
Well, shall we?
Right.
Petra's already walking towards the door.
Okay. All of you brazenly step forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any traps that have been set up? Can I spy anything in the immediate vicinity? Actually, could I use my my ability to notice things that are being hidden. Do I see anything? Well, it's specifically things that are hiding themselves, like magically.
Perhaps. Let me take a
Does
look.
does he get a look inside Petra's sweater pockets?
I'm sorry, I have known you very long. No, it's specifically around things that are disciplines or gifts that hide
Oh, gotcha.
people's. Yes, it hides them from view.
Let me see. Where is the? I know I posted
Curious.
this in our chat.
Do you want the page number of the book?
Trying to find it. Well, I clipped it, didn't I? And I posted it to you.
I don't remember, but I do have the book here. But it's on page 68.
So it would. So, give me a perception and alertness. That would be difficulty 8.
Okay.
So Jerome, would I've had time now to get to the shop and get everything set up to scry?
Sure.
I'm going to blow. I'm going to spend a willpower so I can get an automatic.
Can I go ahead and roll while they're doing all this stuff?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
So that is 2 successes with the willpower.
One second.
I'm also gonna burn a willpower. Okay, I got 4 successes.
Ooh,
Nice.
Well, I'm sorry. What'd you get, Shelley?
4.
Okay. Okay. So, well, I mean, you at that point focus in. You can see that there's a group sitting outside this, or not sitting, but walking into the storefront right now. That are
Can
walking
I see?
in.
Can I see past the doors?
Yeah, you can see inside the building. It's dark, however. So you can only really see by ambient light, and you don't see anybody at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna just keep searching the building.
One second. I don't know why I didn't look this up. My bad. Okay, well, no, deal with it later. All right. So you were still looking. You were walking in. George,
yes.
You can see on the inside. You can see that there are in the darkness. There are two individuals back a ways from the front door in the darkness. One is pacing back and forth. The other is just leaning against the counter and seems to be waiting.
Can I get their bills? Do either of these people match the description of the fellow we're looking for?
The one does, yes.
Which one? Is it the one pacing?
The one pacing, yes.
One pacing, okay. Before Petra just walks in, I'm going to kind of pull her back a little bit, and just let everyone know. I am seeing 2 people in the building ahead, 2 people in darkness. One is our large fellow who is pacing back and forth, and then we have another person who seems to be leaning up against a counter.
And they're both hidden?
They both seem to be Jerome, can I tell like I guess with this ability all I can tell is that they do seem to be hidden, but I can't necessarily tell what discipline they're using. Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah. They might be difficult for you all to notice unless you have some method of looking beyond magical ways of people cloaking themselves.
And at that point, you see the fluorescent lights in the room click on, and the one that was leaning against the counter says it's actually not quite that difficult.
Ah, lights. Genius.
And the other guy, he just keeps pacing, behind the counter, back and forth. He's like not standing still.
Wait, so who is the one who is telling us this? The person who is leaning up against the counter?
Yes. He is...
not Courtney.
And yes, he's not Courtney. By evidence of the fact he's male.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
He is an unusually tall Asian man at about 5'10". Short hair, black. Nobody here, I think, has a background in Asian cultures, so you can't tell right off the bat what nationality he is. But he looks to all of you, and you could, by this point, Cassandra, you can see as soon as the lights come on, you can see everything as well.
Am I able to go further into the building to look for the missing girl?
You can, but the rest of the rooms back here are unlit. So there is a little bit of ambient lighting coming from like windows or whatnot, but you're not seeing anybody specifically. So the individual who was leaning against the counter, he says, you'll have to forgive my friend. He doesn't sit still at all.
Where's Courtney?
He says, I imagined that you were here about that, and he looks to the one that's pacing back and forth, and he says, Bill? And so he's like, kind of turns, he's like, and he says, you owe them an apology. And he stops momentarily and looks, oddly enough, looks right at Petra, and he says, sorry. And he fidgets and kind of keeps, pacing. He says, and I am aware, but this was still a requirement. And he turns and looks at Bill. And at that point, he kind of looks, but he ducks his head a little bit in deference to the man you're speaking to at this point. And he says, go get her. And he says, and he kind of just, stomps off. Like he seems like he's mad, but he probably isn't. It's like he just doesn't have a stop sort of thing. He's just always in one mode and kind of just stomps towards the back, and he ends up walking back out. He flips on a light switch. And Cassandra, you can actually see this from your vantage point. When he does it, he just kind of does this. Like, not really fine motor skills, like, kind of slap against the wall sort of thing. Like he knows where it's at and slaps it. And then you see her there. She's still a little kind of out of it at this point. But she's not tied up. And he heaves her up over his shoulder, and then starts stomping back, into the front room. He says, "You will have to forgive my friend. He has a particularly good nose."
What does that have to do with anything?
And so he pauses a second and he looks around to everybody and he says, "You don't know. I thought for certain the fact that you knew how to find her. Apologies." And as he was talking, he realizes Bill's just kind of standing there with, the girl up on his shoulder, and he says, "Lay her down at their feet gently." And he's like, and he kind of just, walks forward. And his body is actually trembling as he's trying to lay her down neatly. Again, it's like he has one mode.
Yeah.
And it's go. And so he's trying to slow himself down, understanding that this is a limitation for him. And so he does.
Sure.
For as best as he could, he lays her down at your feet, and she's a little kind of like out of it, but she doesn't seem any worse for the wear or whatnot. She's got a little soil on her, but that's about it.
Okay. I'll kind of step up and just kind of kneel down and lift her up and kind of carry her back towards the door.
Okay.
Does she seem fine?
Why don't you give me a wits and medicine check?
Okay.
Shar is definitely doing that once we get to the car.
Okay. Difficulty 6?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't see anybody else in the building.
You just currently see these two.
Okay.
What did you get, George?
I got a botch. So
Wow. Okay. So you as you're examining her, you're not getting a pulse.
Okay. I'm going to I'm going to pull her back outside, and I'm immediately going to cast Mend Flesh upon her.
Okay.
Well, he's doing that.
If he's taking her outside, Petra's following.
So is Shar.
Very
okay.
Petra is definitely hovering.
You're not going to ask more questions.
I'm going to stay there and start asking more questions. These three are leaving.
Yeah.
And Cassandra, you're of course from your vantage point. Cade is hovering over this girl, and he's speaking another language.
Okay.
Hard to say what it is he's saying because you don't speak it.
Right.
And in fact, it's uncommon enough that you've never heard it.
So does it sound kind of archaic?
Is it Welsh?
It's
Welsh.
Pig Latin.
Yeah.
It's Welsh.
It's Welsh. But you guys don't know that because nobody has a language that is even close to it, and Welsh is not something that's frequently spoken. And even if it was, it's got so many additional syllables and crazy ways. It's just like, okay, that was whatever.
Yeah, I just every time I cast a
does
spell,
sound really fun.
Yeah, I just say the name of that one town that's got like 28 letters in it.
Right. Yeah.
Line by PG.
Yeah, we should be able to.
Can
I
I
would like to send a message to Sly while she's watching everything.
If you do, you're going to break your connection.
Shoot.
What do I have to
for
roll?
scrying? You have to keep looking.
Can my familiar
Hold
call?
on, I have that ability, George, too, so I can look it up.
Okay, yeah, I know I have the difficulty, but I'm not sure exactly what I have to roll. Is it just
probably your intelligence and occult, because that's I standardized that for everybody, because if you're casting magic, unless it states otherwise, that's probably what it's going to be.
Okay, all right, so that is okay. And I'm using difficulty 5 because that's what it says in the book. Is that...
That's fine.
Okay.
That's what it says in the book. That's what we go by.
Were all the other buildings dark, Jerome?
Yeah.
4 successes.
Damn.
Okay.
Woo.
Thankfully, she doesn't have any like wounds of any nature. So you actually did an amazing job of healing up any slight little scrapes that she had, as well as hangnails.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
Her
that's a
hair is
low...
now shiny and lustrous.
Yes. You
She
gave her
looks
hair
amazing.
soul glow.
Yes. I have turned her into Galadriel.
She is also blemish
You've
free.
given her a glow up.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, she
All
was
her
complaining
stress-
about her knees the other day.
All
Her
her
back or
stress
whatever.
acne is now clear.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And so, does she visibly? Do I now no longer think that has no pulse?
She's been visibly stirring.
Okay. Well, it's because before I thought she was dead, but at least
Right.
like now, do
That was your
I no
botch.
longer?
So
Right, but yes, but do I no longer now believe that she is dying?
that is correct.
Okay, I have saved her. As a true knight should. But,
Okay, so the rest of you have walked out. Sly is still on the inside, and so
Yeah.
he's kind of standing there. And
I've got to know. What's going on between you and Sharkman here?
oh, so he looks and he says, he is a part of my extended family, in so many words.
Oh. Well, I've got to hear that story. How does that work?
It's a story that will remain untold.
Ah. That we came all this way to hear no story?
Well, there are parts I'm certain that her sibling or her relation, whoever she is tied to, will likely want to hear, as it's revelatory to the individual.
Okay.
But he
well, I
kind of
mean, like,
leans and sees that she's still out there. But if she doesn't want to know, I suppose that's fine as well.
Oh, Cassandra so wants to know.
And
Well,
this whole time, after Bill set her down and you guys scooped her or Courtney up and took her outside, he's just going back to wandering. He's not pacing at this point, but he's just not standing still. He's just he'll look at something, he'll open a drawer, he'll walk around. He's just not sitting still.
No, sharks can't stay still.
I
Makes
was
sense.
just about to say
Yes, I
that.
say.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
So Petra will try and rouse Courtney just to try and get some kind of a try and wake her up, try
Okay.
and talk to her.
Intelligence medicine. Thank you for the raid. The lollygaggers are back in the house.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yep.
Welcome.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
2.
And thank you for the follows. 2. Okay, so
Yes, hello.
you take a moment to kind of lightly slap her face and just kind of like looking around, and
Do you have any smelling salts in your sweater?
she sees you, at that moment. She's just like, Mom, what?
Are you okay, honey? What are you? Talk to me.
She's kind of like looking around, and she's like, where? Who?
What's the last thing you remember?
Did I miss a party? What? Why am I on the ground?
Okay. Are you feeling okay? How do you feel?
Groggy. Did you find that guy? A big, ugly, kind of mean-looking guy?
Yes.
Does it
Um,
seem weird that she knows we were looking for?
yeah. What about this guy?
Really weird. And he sounds mean, but he's kind of not. Even though oh, hey, I'm not tied up. But yeah, even though I'm not tied up anymore.
All right, honey. Why don't you stay with Charlotte and by the car, and
Oh, hey, Char.
I'll be back.
Hello,
Oh,
Courtney.
she just looks a lot like my mom. She's really my cousin. See, she's way too young to be my mom.
Yes. Well, perhaps we should have Nigel escort her back to the car while we make sure that everything is.
Oh, sure
Everything is
thing. I
in-
got it, boss. So he
Oh,
quickly
yes, right.
swoops in to
Of course.
help her.
Um,
Dax is, of course, still there, but his priority is just staying near Charlotte to make sure she's okay.
okay. I'm ready to hear some answers.
And so she's like,
You are.
and so she's walking off, and she's like, answer, and just she gets carried off like back to the car. And I guess you're walking back inside.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold
Okay.
my sword out in a guard position.
And all right, so he's like, I can assure you that's not necessary, and I would appreciate, despite what has happened, you lower the weapons.
I haven't hit anybody yet.
Yeah, I haven't drawn
So
my
you're
sword
still
yet.
Right, but you're making the others very edgy by doing so, and let's just say
Others.
it would end poorly for us both if you don't put them away.
I'll kind of turn to Petra and say, perhaps because this has ended rather peacefully, we can sheath our steel for the moment and get some answers. Maybe
I
learn.
would appreciate that.
Yes.
So, at the mention of others, do I see others?
You do not. Outside of Bill wandering everywhere. Right now,
Petra looks
he's
very-
checking the shelves.
Petra looks very irritated, but she'll go ahead and hide her sword.
Okay, and so he says, apologies. He says you can refer to me as Yang. You've already obviously met, regrettably, Bill. And
Did you say
Yang,
like Y-O-N-G?
Y-O-N-G, yes.
Okay.
And he says, I do apologize for this unfortunate turn of events. What do you know of your family member? What is she to you?
I've known her nearly her entire life. I don't see what this has to do with.
Well, it has everything to do, I'm afraid. Her father? Was he... And he kind of like looks over to make sure that, Bill is a little tuned out. Like Bill, but not Shark?
No. Of course not. That's ridiculous.
That's what I was afraid of. What do you know of... Well, everyone here seems to be some sort of supernatural, and I'm certain I'm not exactly speaking untoward some of my cousins, but when I say this, but what do you know of werewolves?
I bristle a little bit, but what do I know of werewolves, Jerome?
Why don't you roll and tell me?
All right.
Cade.
I guess I will. Is it intelligence and occult?
Intelligence and occult again, difficulty 7. These would have
Okay.
been a little bit more common for you to run across in your ages.
Okay. My specialty is jerks.
Okay.
And
That's
two
a heck of a
successes.
special. You have
Oh,
run it.
for real?
So you have run into werewolves before.
Mhm.
They are as varied as any vampire you may have come across, with the exception of they're not associated with clans. They're denoted by tribes, which seems to be like genealogically based. You don't know a whole lot about them. Obviously, you don't have the lore, but you know that your homeland, specifically, the Isles, had been a hotbed of activity for some. That's probably where you made your first encounters. Most tend to stay out of the cities and into nature, and they seem to be very militant about protecting wildlife.
Right. Which would explain the soil and the nursery, I suppose. And would I know that, they don't always turn, like, so what, I guess with my just 2 successes, would I come to the conclusion that this fellow is a werewolf, but his tribe is some sort of fish person?
Well, he's clearly not a werewolf. So there's definitely a correlation there. You're just not catching it yet.
Okay. All right. I am obliquely familiar with werewolves. Is that what you and your friend are?
No. And I'm not exactly at liberty to go into the finer details of this, but needless to say, our wolven cousins are far more populous. And it was as I feared. The young lady that he picked up is kin, or what they would refer to as kin.
What does that mean?
In their terms, it means she has a genealogical marker that would tie her to one who shifts. Let's put it in that term. And so as you are already aware by Bill's indiscretions, that wolves are not the only ones that can shift.
Okay. So when you say that she has a marker that makes her connected to shifters, is it specifically wolves, the werewolves, or is it...
It's hard to explain, but let's just say that in her case, it is. But it doesn't necessarily mean it can stay that way. She has I'm just going to come out and say it because there's no real delicate way to say this. She is of a preferred breeding stock, which is why they would call them kin. She has a greater degree of ability to produce a shifting offspring.
You are kidding me.
He turns and looks to Bill and he says, I really wish I was. I wouldn't exactly be in this mess, standing before all of you, attempting to explain his indiscretions.
And Petra pulls her sword out again.
And he says, please sheathe your sword. He did not do anything. He actually brought her to me first to find out why he smelled that. Which, to give him credit, is an upgrade. He is having a great degree of difficulty adjusting to life outside of the sea.
So, but at the very least, nothing untoward or inappropriate occurred other than just the,
I would never allow such a thing.
okay, other
No.
than the kidnapping. Okay.
Now, the kin that she is related to would. That is the bad news.
Okay.
And you're not. Petra puts her sword away. And you're not at liberty to tell us.
I can give you an abbreviated tale of what it is that she is and how this is connected.
Does
If
she
you are willing to
know
at
any of
least
this?
sit down. No, she clearly doesn't. But it's going to require you and I suppose your friends to sit a spell and entertain the story.
Should she be here for this because it concerns her?
She is still a little out of it. It may come better from somebody related to her.
But you just said that you all are related to her.
Not like that. I'm getting the distinct impression that you are family to her, although I don't exactly know how. Perhaps you retelling it to her when she's away from this would be better.
Hey?
She, let's just say, there are tribes of these wolves. Many to be exact. The tribe that she once belonged to fell to corruption many, many, many moons ago. Somebody within her, and you could probably do your own, I suppose, genealogical research, although I would temper you to do so with care. Because they watch for these things. They are evil, vicious and cruel, depraved, and probably one of the only things that our cousins are unified against. We have a very difficult history with our wolven cousins. But this is one thing we are united in. She, however, seems to bear a marker that predates this corruption, which makes her particularly special. Dangerously so.
Why is that dangerously special?
Because her entire tribe was wiped out and corrupted.
So she's the remaining survivor of this extremely unique tribe.
Think genealogically speaking. It's
tribe of
something that appeared after long delays.
So she
tribe of werewolves,
like a
right?
recessive gene in
not
Mythic.
Some other creature.
Correct, to these werewolves. But as she is kin, she could be valuable to really any of shifters and could be adopted within that particular tribe. In this particular case, again, it's difficult to explain, but they would want to claim what they believe is theirs. If they found out. These particular members, although they're not exactly unified, are very widespread. And some of them even have ties to very large corporations in which they spread their evil and bile throughout this planet.
Would you happen to know of any that live in the Savannah area?
That is something we have been trying to suss out ourselves.
Okay.
Some of them are unusually capable, or are unusually adept at hiding and staying hidden, while others are painfully obvious. And we seem to be dealing with the latter as opposed to or the former as opposed to the latter. We know that their corruption is here. We're just having difficulty tracking it as of this point.
Okay. Are you
So-
all... Oh, sorry.
How do we protect her from this?
By telling her the truth, for starts, monitoring, and I would hate to say this, but you would probably want to monitor her activity with other individuals. Pardon the pun, but watch who comes sniffing around.
Well, been doing that for 30 years. Suppose I could do it a little longer.
I don't suppose there's any way of removing this genetic marker from her.
Short of death, no.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is very clearly not an option.
Oh, yes. I just, hoping for an outside the box magic option.
I completely understand. I would be, again, I apologize given the circumstances, but should you ever feel more inclined to speak to me again on obviously more less tense terms, I would be willing to assist in that avenue as well. It is in our interest to ensure her safety, which I think is why Bill acted as hastily as he did. As you can tell, he does not have a strong grasp of the English language.
So
Right.
he is not originally human.
He, believe it or not, he was. Let's not get into the logistics of that, but let's just say that when that rarity does happen, it's difficult for them to adjust, if at all.
Okay. So does she have any special powers or benefits?
It's interesting that you ask that. I haven't detected any as of this point. It is fairly rare for kin of any tribe, or well, let's just call them nationalities at this point, since it is fairly diverse. And I'm trying to keep this in relative terms. But it is fairly rare for that sort of thing to happen. You will find, however, that she is resistant to the change shifters invoke. Many of our kind invoke what's called a delirium, which keeps regular individuals from realizing what is actually happening. Their mind rationalizes it away. As a way, I suppose, to keep us hidden.
Oh.
That's convenient.
She is resistant to that and would see them in their true form and would not suffer the delirium that it normally induces.
Yeah, it makes sense. Wouldn't want her to scream bloody murder when she's... I'm not gonna continue that train of thought. But
right.
Petra gives him a warning glance.
Yeah. Okay, you can keep your sweater swords just tucked in your sweater scabbards. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So then, very nice of you to just kind of go ahead and explain all of this. How did you all make it into town then? You've just been following this tribe of bad, corrupted werewolves, and it led here?
I've actually been here for a number of years. as have my friends.
Oh.
We just don't interact with much of the city frequently, as we are aware that there are vampires among us.
Are they aware of you, the vampires?
I'm certain that they are to some degree.
What's the deal with the vampires?
Romeo and or Montague and Capulet.
Ah, and that's a standard thing?
Typically, yes.
Star-crossed lovers.
No, those were the families that hated one another.
Oh, yes, no, I know.
But credit for picking up part of the reference.
Yes, no, I understood. I'm interjecting humor to further diffuse the tension.
He says they are outside of the standard cycle of life. And most of our kind recognizes that and can pick that up. And they are viewed as an abomination. Many of them are afraid of our kind for obvious reasons, because Bill at that point starts perking up and he's like, no, that's not what we're doing. And then he just continues to rummaging around and walking. So it is a complicated relationship.
Petra, do you mind if I speak with you outside for just a moment?
Okay.
I'll kind of go outside, get a little bit of distance from the house, and say, so I did not want to ask this in there because I didn't want to give away any information, but do you think it should be prudent that we ask about your daughter's child?
Debating whether we can trust these people enough to mention that.
Yes, well, because
if it's hereditary.
Well, it's not just that. Certain animals, when there is a particularly, I guess, a female that is desired, if she's already had children, sometimes they will kill the children. And I don't know how werewolves work, but is that something that you think we should maybe ask about? That this might be something that they would should we also be monitoring her son as well?
You're probably right. I don't like any of this, but
it's definitely not an easy thing to hear, I'm sure. But whatever we can do to keep them safe. But unfortunately, this is our appears to be our best avenue of gaining information about what is going on with her and how we can possibly protect her.
Okay. She'll go back inside.
I'll follow.
And look at Yong and say, how much do you know about our family?
How do you mean?
About Courtney. How much do you know about her?
I know very little, which is why I was asking you for information. Speaking more clinically, given what I was able to study and pick up her marker, let's put it that way.
So you're not aware that she has a child?
No, I'm not.
And based on your explanation, the child also would carry that genetic marker?
Potentially. any member of her family could potentially hold that marker. This particular one is very, very recessive. Clearly, because this tribe has been lost. In fact, no one, if you were to find anyone willing to speak to you on that level who was a werewolf, they would confirm that and likely laugh at you. They don't even believe that they're around. They believe that they are all what are called the black spiral dancers, the corrupted ones.
And how can we be sure one or the other? Is it just by smell?
They can find, much like Bill can, somebody who's what would be called kinfolk, or lack of a better term, breeding stock. There is a formal relationship that goes into such a thing. It's not obviously as crass as that, unless you're talking about the black spiral dancers.
It's sounding like we really need to worry about these black spiral dancers who would want to grab her and, well, use her. Is that what I'm getting?
Correct. But there may also be other werewolves who would attempt to lay claim on her as well. I'm not saying that they'll be so brash, but there are some that might notice her as kin and wish to bring them into their tribe. And I can't really speak for how they would handle it. As I said, we don't exactly have the best relationship with that side of the family.
Well,
So, what is your recommendation as to how to handle this besides explaining it to Courtney?
Well, for now, perhaps you should take that information with you and decide amongst yourselves if you wish to parlay with me at a later time.
And we can find you here?
No, this is just one of the businesses that I maintain. Now, I couldn't provide you a phone number that you could call me at. In fact,
Okay.
he kind of looks around and he says, I don't exactly know why Bill brought her here. I think it may have had something to do with Food Lion. And he's like looking around. He's like, cereal.
yeah, your guy loves that stuff. It
Yeah,
keeps
yes.
going in there.
Correct. Yeah,
So,
right.
Well, Petra, she's safe now, right? At least safer. We've got her. Wasn't hurt. These guys are on her side. Bill over there's awkward. Sure. He and I got off on the wrong foot. Sure. You know what? I can let bygones be bygones. But it sounds like you need to find out how to keep her safe if she's going to be this perpetual target for shape-shifting tribes.
Yes, perhaps
Yeah.
you should take the evening to sleep on it and have a discussion at a later time. You're, again, more than welcome to follow up with me at a later date.
I expect we will.
And he turns and he just looks at Bill again, and Bill kind of hangs his head and then steps forward again, and he says, sorry. And when he says it at that point, you can tell even all of his teeth are still like jagged and shark-like, almost.
Oof.
Thank you for not hurting her.
And just kind of goes back to wandering.
Thank you for all of the information. And being so reasonable despite the situation.
Yeah, and Young, I'll take your number.
Yes, I actually wouldn't mind it as I'll take it as well.
Well, he just writes it on a piece of paper and then lets you guys pass it around. At that point. All right, so you guys at that point turn and leave. Let you guys figure it out and chat later on what you want to do next evening. Yes, we are skipping past that because unfortunately the way the scene stopped right in the middle of that, and not everybody has been tied together as of this point. So
yeah, real quick though, Cassandra would have continued to watch them for a few hours after everyone left.
Sure, that's fine, and I will get with you about that later.
Thank you.
So actually at this point we'll skip to, at least for this part, the next evening, because that's when Joe and Charles will be on site for the movie.
Nice.
So they've actually got everything set up at this point. They've got like multiple camera angles on this building at this point. They've got the pads set up, and they've got some other place set up for the, the storeroom of stuff, which that's actually a part of their official shoot. So that part's covered. It's this particular part that is not. So Joe, at this point, give me a goodness. That's what I'm looking for. That'll help.
A cool and strength feat.
No, give me give me an intelligence and crafts check.
Intelligence and crafts. Okay.
Yep. You have helped put together the safety rigging for Charles.
Do I want to burn that willpower then?
Oh.
Just kidding. I'll burn a willpower.
Okay.
To help make sure he stays alive.
Staying alive. Right. Staying alive.
All right. 4.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So
5 with the auto. Sorry.
Cool. So not only have you, and of course the production staff, set up the safety rigging, you've gone through and checked it again, because the guys all did have to put it together fast. You've made sure that it is as safe as it's going to possibly be, but it's tucked away, so that way the camera shots, like even if he does fall and hit the street, essentially in the alleyway, he'll hit the safety bags, and it won't look like he'll just fall into shadows. So you actually did a good job of covering it, so even if it botches, maybe they could turn it into something else like later on or something.
Yeah.
So he's going to be safe either way, at least in that sense. Now also give me another intelligence and crafts check for the pneumatics that are going to be involved in the storehouse scene.
Okay, I am going to burn another will.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, no whammies. 3-4 with the auto.
Oh, nice. Okay, so same thing. So basically what you've got set up here is the you didn't, because you're not dealing with explosives, but basically how the scene is going to end up is after he falls in here and they start having to improv weapons and get at it, they end up hitting something in here that starts causing secondary explosions. So the pneumatics that you have rigged are going to start throwing like objects and weapons at them while they're in the midst of their fight. So they're also going to have to like deflect or dodge or whatever have you. So you have rigged it up in such a way that, I mean, obviously if they still, screw it up, they could get hit. But the targeting wise, you've lined it up so unless they are literally missing their marks, it's going to miss them. But it's close enough that it looks like it's a threat based on the camera angles. So it should look really cool. All right, so Charles.
Yeah.
So give me for the opening fight scene.
All right.
On top of the 5-story building, when you guys are duking it out, I need you to give me a dexterity and kicking is your big thing.
Athletics.
No, I meant for offensive. Oh no, so punch and kick. Okay, so you can choose either. So dexterity and either punch or kick for the fighting aspects of the stunt work that you're going to have up there, and then give me dexterity and athletics for the actual stunt work for like what we talked about in the scene.
Okay. So let's spend willpower for both.
Okay. He's like, no whammies, stop!
No whammies, I can't have whammies. Okay, so /MM. 7, 6, nimble. Let's go! Okay.
Nice. That's 6 with your auto, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot to put auto. Yep, 6 successes.
So that is for the
Dex,
fighting aspect of it?
Yep.
Okay,
Dex
cool.
Nice job.
Thank you. And
even I'm impressed sitting from the side. I'm like, okay, he remembered the spots. Awesome. He's not going to get killed today.
Yeah. And 9, 6. 8
Oh
successes.
my God.
Wow.
Yes, you paid attention.
Okay. So on top, so basically what happens here. So let me explain what goes on. So you guys, they've got the cameras and everything rigged up, and on the 5-story roof. So you guys start. So as soon as they say, action, like the scene starts as you come running out, because you're basically trying to get away from this guy. In this particular part of the scene, like you've got sensitive information and you're trying to get away and he's keeping you from doing it. And so you run upstairs, he runs up faster, grabs a hold of you and does that typical Jackie Chan thing, like grabs your coat, you spin around, you try to pull out, he hits you, you fall back. It's like bam, 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 bam. And then you end up hitting some framework, which causes which ends up causing some like rolling pipe and duct to roll over and clock him in the head. And as he goes, he ends up throwing an elbow and missing and ends up striking like a wooden post. But he's the main villain, so it's supposed to break. He's much stronger, that sort of thing. And so he hits it, and then like that whole thing collapses on you, which based upon what happens looks horrible. Like it almost looks like the eye beams and everything speared you, but all it did was fall like gently on you, like you nailed the stunt, and it just and so wow. and so then you start doing like one of these and try to roll backwards to kick out of it, and then he runs forward, drop kicks you at this point, which at that point you're off your mark. You were trying to run to get over to the other side to get away from him, and it caused you to knock down. So then you end up getting into this like ground and pound, like back and forth, kicks, elbows, like bah, 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 bah. And at this point, like Joe, you can actually hear the they're having to hold the silent sign for the crew, because they're watching and everyone's just like whoa, and they're like quiet. They don't want a whole lot of sound in the background, because that's more work for to take it out. And then they keep going at it, and he ends up So they have to pull an audible because the way it ends up going through. So he ends up falling backwards and ends up getting pulled up by his shirt. His shirt completely rips off. And it because he's a
gratuitous chest pose.
He is a physical specimen, so he's already sweaty with with like the backlighting and whatnot, and he's got a couple fake cuts on him. And blah, blah, blah. So they start going at it. He's already got the look of shock, like he almost fell off to the side, and then he ends up the foe ends up drilling him with a roundhouse kick, and he sells it perfect, spins like once or twice, just enough like he's supposed to, falls off the edge, and like everybody's like, oh shit, like as they see it going over, hits because they replaced the glass, hits the basically what it is it's like it can still potentially hurt, but it's essentially like sugar that's designed to look like glass. So you end up hitting that, and it shatters all over the place, and you end up landing on the bag, and then you end up hearing cut, and everyone's like, whoa, like sort of thing, like they're blowing up at this point. And it's like everything went over, and like Mikhail is like grabbing, the first grip, and the second grip's like, did you get that? Sort of thing, just like you're yelling at them, making sure
please
that
don't make them roll.
Yeah, just making sure like all the cameras got everything, and then everybody's like all thumbs up, and it's like they're like totally stoked, and like, okay, hurry, everybody get down, let's go, we got to get to the next site. So then it's a quick race off to the secondary location, which is the inside of this building. And what he does before you actually get up is he takes a picture, kind of like how you came down, so that way he knows relative to how you came down to how you should start the scene when they get to the other side. So that way it looks like it gels a little bit. Again, less post work, if they can do it. So now I need you to give me 2 more of the same fight rules. So either punch or kick and dexterity. And then for the stunt work, you need to go dexterity and athletics again. Now, the dexterity and athletics for this one's difficulty 7.
Do I need to roll to reset up whatever they need me there to?
No, you've already set up everything at this point.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you've already got all of that. That was the pneumatics.
Oh, okay, that's the word, pneumatics.
Yes.
Okay. Let's spend more willpower.
All right.
Two successes. Okay.
Okay.
Is it 3 with the willpower?
No, because I got 2 1s.
Ooh.
Do you have any rerolls?
I don't have any rerolls, unfortunately.
Well, because didn't you say that you spent a willpower?
I did. Yep.
Okay, so wouldn't that be the 2 successes that are listed plus the 1?
Yeah, so you have a 10, so you would technically...
Oh, okay. Yeah, it blows up. Okay, yeah, you're right. So it would be 3. Okay.
Yep, so 3, that's not bad.
Not bad. Okay, and then 9, 7. 5 successes. All right.
Better. Okay. So started off a little shaky, but still competent. Rounded off the rest of the fight at that point, looking really sharp. Give your you didn't do your athletics one.
Yeah, that was the 5 successes. The
so
difficulty 7.
Did you do 2 for your fighting?
Yeah. Oh, do I need 2 fighting?
Yeah, 2 fighting. So you had 1, it was a 3, you need to do 1 more.
Oh, okay. Whoops, my apologies. I cannot spend any more willpower or I turn into a potato. So
okay.
Here goes.
Well,
3 successes.
In fairness, Brittany would like you if you turn into a potato. So. Okay. So, So so at this point they reset the scene. So you you've hit your back, and so now you're trying to roll back out effectively. You're trying to roll back, and you're wincing in pain. Trying to sell it and looking around real quick. They touched up your body a little bit to make it look like you actually impacted with glass. And then he comes jumping back down like right after you, like nails his roll or nails the floor, and then rolls and gets up to his feet. And you're kind of wincing back again. You're trying to get away from him, but he's moving too quick. And so at this point, it's actually kind of working into your favor that you didn't get as high of the basically your brawl martial art checks. You're supposed to look a little bit weaker. You're supposed to look exhausted. And so he's really like laying it into you, and you're selling it. Some kicks and punches. So you end up falling backwards. You end up hitting a helium tank, or I should say, a propane tank. You end up hitting like a propane tank, which in the action movies literally blows up like grenades. Not in real life, but in the action movies, that's what people come to expect. So you hit that, it falls backwards, hits a live wire, and of course, boom! They've rigged some, explosion on the inside. You feel the heat come off of it, and so now you guys are pairing off with your with swords. Oh, and give me a dex and sword check.
Yeah. No more potato.
No more potato. So 5, that's 8.
Difficulty 6.
No, Riley.
6 successes. Let's go.
There you go.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so
Nailed it.
now you guys are it just going at it. Like you end up, so you've got your sword, and then you end up picking up you end up picking up you basically like dual wield like your sword, which is a katana, and then awkwardly you have like a butterfly sword.
Okay.
So
yeah.
you're kind of going at it, and he's got like 2 weapons, and you're going at it, and then everything's starting to blow up around you. You're like they're sometimes they'll throw something at you to for the explosion effects. Other times the pneumatics will have something flying like right past you, like a sigh. They've rigged it at one point where a sigh goes right past your 2 eyes and flies across the wall and sticks. And the whole the effect is like you just caught it narrowly out of your eye and did kind of one of these, and it goes, but it's an actual effect, not a post effect that they're going to put, so it looks better. And so you really nailed it. So like, whoa! And then he's trying to press the advantage, as you're going at it. Then like 2 basketballs go flying out from God knows where, sort of thing. Like you end up getting pegged in the head, like you go bong, and he ends up like taking one of the knee and causes him to buckle for a second. Like there's some mutual calamity, again, like a Jackie Chan sort of film. Like nobody gets out unscathed, even if they're the uber bad guy. And then the final scene ends up being like you end up getting clipped with a weighted chain or like around your arm, and it wraps up, and then he ends up and then you both end up getting like wrapped up by wiring that came down from the ceiling, so you're like stuck together. And then he ends up grabbing like garrote wire and wraps it around your neck and starts like trying to choke you out, and you're taking your covered fist and like trying to drill him in the face, to get him to get it done. And the end of the fight sequence is like right when you're almost out of breath, like your eyes are starting to bug out, and you're about ready to get completely knocked out. You grab a hold of the convenient wires that fell from the ceiling, pull yourself up, drop kick him like in one motion, and he gets the stick around Bennett scene from Commando, where he gets thrown up against exposed pipe.
Ooh.
And it goes like right through his chest, and you just see it like spitting, air from the vents coming out, and you get like, the stick around line sort of thing, and then get to limp out of the scene at that point, as the, they do the rap.
Wow, that's amazing.
And at that point, like everyone's like, yes, excited and whatnot, and bringing it all to a wrap. Thank you for the follow.
You worked for that 1.5 million plus fight
So
deal.
yeah, and at that point, you end up, you're gonna say Caden because I've got Mass Effect on the brain, but it's not Caden. Kieran was there on scene for that, and as everybody's starting to wrap, that particular night, set of fights and whatnot, he has offered to throw a party for everybody on scene for such a great series.
That was a good send-off.
To try and give, try to keep morale going for the movie, because they want more of that production going forward.
Makes sense.
So,
look what the bar you set.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that is where we're going to finally end it for the evening. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us. I do apologize that we had multiple people kind of sitting out for part of the game.
Okay.
That has like never happened, but that I realized that might actually happen in this one, because I'm not taking the standard approach like we did in Vampire, where it's everybody gets together. Everybody's got more individual stories at this point, and it's starting to craft them together more naturally. So,
well, not really playing a whole lot tonight. Can you see the storybook of notes?
Noticing that, yeah, woohoo, very detailed.
I just had time listening. That's worked in our favor. So,
so before we end, we need to do RP votes for everybody. So let's start from the top. Shelly, who do you vote for?
I'm gonna go with Dale tonight. Sly's sense of humor, and yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it tonight.
George.
I feel bad because I didn't see a lot of the gameplay because my internet is terrible. But so I have been thinking about this. I think I want to go with Davey. I think I like the last chunk of his acting has been really fun.
Okay.
Although he could win me better if I could hear what his one-liner was. When he
I was going to say, you need a catchphrase.
I need a catchphrase. Okay,
Where's your catchphrase?
Yeah,
his catchphrase.
Let's
go!
Yeah, my catchphrase is "Let's go," but I don't think you want that one. I'll have to come up with.
There you go. Yeah, that is your mission between now and next game.
Catchphrase.
Come up with the catchphrase that Charles is going to be known for in his movies.
God, free guy. Catchphrase.
Yeah, exactly. Catchphrase. I like three things. Was it insert here? TBD? Catchphrase.
And purple neons.
And purple neons. Okay, so Dale.
It's Propel.
I am actually going to vote for Brittany Petra because the way she was showing concern for her daughter, bringing out the sword, squaring off with Young. That was pretty good. I like that. That was genuine.
Okay, Abby.
My vote is also for Petra.
Okay.
Oh.
Brittany.
I'm gonna go with George.
Okay, George. There we go. So, Rachel.
I think you all did really great tonight. I am actually going to give Davey an honorable mention because it's at the ending of your fight. You rolled amazing. Oh my God.
He did do a great job.
Joe was super impressed. She didn't expect that much. So, she had very low expectations. No offense.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm like, oh my God. He actually listened to where I told him the sit was. Okay. I'm actually going to give mine to Dale because he now gets a promotion because he found her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Look at that. Yes.
Davey.
Brittany. Helicopter mom with sword. Yeah.
Which
Helicopters
is
have
like you didn't do
blades.
anything, right?
Oh, that's
no,
yeah.
no.
Oh no no no
What
no
were you
no!
thinking?
Gonna have to have
Little
the
Mama Bear.
Yeah,
there.
I like that too. But,
Okay, so RP vote then goes to Brittany. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
How many
So
points is that? Just one?
just one. Yeah.
Okay.
So just as an FYI to reiterate, the week of the 20th to the 26th, we are not going to have games. So that means this game, as well as Star Wars and the Marvel game, aren't going to take place until 2 weeks after that. So that would be the week of the 4th, November 4th. So
I won't be able to put on this face for almost a month now.
So you'll be
I
able to
mean,
save
you
the
could
makeup.
put it on anytime you want. You could,
That's true.
you know,
Should I wear it
so-
tomorrow night
go to
too?
dinner.
So tomorrow
Yeah.
night is Marvel Superheroes. So I hope you guys tune in and hang out with us there. Thank you guys all for
Let's go.
yeah, exactly. Thank you guys all for hanging with us, for the raid, for the follows. Greatly
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
You guys all have a good night. Good night, guys.
Bye.